Hi friends! Welcome back to my channel. I'm Xoxo, this is Xoxo Tarot, and today we have a very special reading for you today. I hope you are ready for lots of puns. But if you are new here, I just want to say welcome. I am so happy you are here, and even if you think that this is a load of crapola, I hope that you will stick around, hopefully, to see if there is any useful information and useful messages for you. So if you are new, I'm going to quickly explain how these sort of readings work. The single most important thing that you need to know and understand about these readings is that they are information, and information is useless to you if it does not have benefit for you. So each bear and card is going to represent a separate reading. You can pick more than one, especially if you are drawn to more than one, and you're probably asking, well, how do I pick? Well, how you do that is kind of up to you. You should go by your intuition. So like, for example, you might be drawn to the pink bear because you like pink, but you're really feeling more drawn to the green bear. So in that case, I would say pick the green bear first. And if what I'm saying in that reading is not relating to you, is not resonating, then go ahead and try the pink bear. What I try to do in these readings is kind of give you an idea of what is coming through so that you can determine whether the message is for you or not. One of the single most important things about these readings is that you do not take any messages that are not for you. So, if it's not resonating, if it's not making you feel uplifted or clear or peaceful or good, it's definitely not your reading. Do not forget your own power of sovereignty. But essentially, once you have picked your bear, there will be timestamps for each below in the comment section and in the description box. It will take you straight to your reading, and I will start. And basically, there won't be, in a lot of my readings, there are things called energy checks, which are just there to help you know whether the rest of the reading is for you or not. But the reading itself is kind of an energy check, because whatever I'm saying, you're either going to be like, oh, I need to hear this, and oh, this is actually addressing things that I was thinking about or feeling or worrying. And so if I'm talking about that and you're like, this isn't hitting, this is not for me, or this is not relevant to what I'm going through, then I would definitely try a different group, or try another video or something like that if you want to. If not, grateful to everyone who is here, even if it is challenging to your mindset. All that I want to do is hopefully bring you more peace, more clarity, more connection to yourself, maybe validate things that have been happening within you that you haven't had anyone else to speak truth to or bring out into your conscious awareness. So essentially, just the most important things: don't take any messages that are not for you, don't force things that are not for you, and also don't be afraid to try a different group if the one that you pick is not hitting for you, is not resonating. This is not a you can only pick one, and if you don't pick it, then you're wrong and there's no message for you. You might have to shift around a little bit if you're having trouble. Obviously, these bears are very cute, the butterflies are very pretty, so I can imagine it might be challenging to pick. So it is absolutely okay to be like, oh, this isn't hitting, let me try another one. Even if you pick 3 different readings and none of them hit, and then you get to the last one and that's the message for you, that is the message for you. Disregard the other 3. And if you find that you're resonating with multiple messages, that's also okay. This is all about information that is useful to you, and if it resonates, if it brings you clarity, peace, then it's for you, and if it doesn't, it is not. It is really that simple, and I understand that your conscious mind might want to overthink it and be like, wait, well, is it really for me? Yes, if it resonates, it's for you. I know it might be hard to kind of conceptualize, well, how can this reading be for me when it's also resonating for a lot of other people? And the reality is, number one, it's not as many people as you think. There are 8 billion people on this planet. And number two, humans are not that different from each other. And a lot of human experiences, while they may be different in terms of semantics, do come down to core ideas that many of us go through and deal with. So, I think that there's a really powerful reality that a lot of us are going through the same things, maybe in a different way. And these readings are an excellent reminder that we're not the only ones going through, our challenges or our struggles or our worries or our fears or, the beautiful things in life. Like, we have a lot more in common with each other than I think we consciously realize. And this is a beautiful opportunity to see that. So don't get bugged out by the idea that other people are resonating with it. That's because there are other people that are going through the same things as you. And guess what? This is also timeless. And what timeless means is that it does not matter when I post the video. It is meant for you when you find it. So this could be 5 years into the future. I would be honored if my videos were still being watched that far into the future. It was meant to find you at that point. So this is meant for you when it finds you. Don't let the time that it was posted deter you. There's a magic to how these things kind of work, and I don't quite understand it. I don't think we're meant to, but essentially I just hope that this reading is either at the very least enjoyable, brings you peace, brings you clarity. I'm so happy to have you here, and whether you're sticking with me for this reading or choose to stick around with me for longer, thank you for spending time with me and sharing space with me. I'm happy to have you here, and yeah, so let's go ahead and get into what we are going to be looking at for this reading. So as you can see, we have 4 different cards on each of the bears, and so each of this card has a truth. So we are going to start by a bear bearing the truth to you that you need to hear. And I promise it won't be scary. It'll be a liberating truth, I promise. So if that truth, you're like, yes, I needed to hear that truth, then stick around for the rest of the reading. So that can be partially the energy check, but then we're going to look at what you need to know / what the message meant for you is. So we're going to elaborate upon this first card, and then I am just going to channel based on what is coming through, and hopefully it will be the messages that you need to hear that were meant for you. The biggest way you will know they are not is if you feel bad, if you feel confused, if you feel like, if it is not hitting or it is creating confusion, distress, any sort of feeling that is negative, do not watch it, okay? Don't forget your own power to do that and to say no to. It is meant for you if it uplifts you, if it makes you feel good, yada, yada, yada. So we're gonna look at what you need to know, that's the message I was meant to find you. And then I'm gonna use a separate tarot deck to basically ask any follow-up questions, elaborate on certain things, and that will be my choice, just based on what I feel could be useful for you or supportive, supplement whatever message came through. And then we're going to do a little bit of book divination, and we're going to pull a self-care message from a book that I have, and we're going to finish off with MEGADECK. And so if you have never met MEGADECK, she is an icon, she is a queen, she's very versatile. She is essentially just multiple decks put together to make one giant MEGADECK. So we have Miss MEGADECK today. Anyone who comments thank you MEGADECK is always blessed with MEGADECK's grace and good luck. So if you want to do that, you absolutely can. But that will be the reading today, and I hope that this message truly was meant to find you, and I hope that it brings you clarity, peace, awareness, compassion for yourself and others, and any and all things good. So you guys have been requesting for me to bring the bears back, and so that is what we are doing today. These are my bears from childhood. They are some of my most cherished possessions. I have loved them for many years, and I continue to, so it just makes me so happy that you guys love them too. So we have 4 different bears to choose from, with 4 different butterfly cards to choose from as well. So if you're having trouble picking based on the bear, maybe pick based on the card or the color. Just do what's right for you, and like I said, it's okay to be drawn to more than one. So starting with group number 1, pile 1, well, group, we have the orange bear who has Friday written on his foot, and this yellowish butterfly card. Then for group number 2, we have the pink bear. It has Wednesday written on its foot, and this pinky butterfly card with a pretty pink flower on it on top. And then for group number 3, we have the red bear with Monday written on it, and this red butterfly card on top. I will say, as someone with synesthesia, some of the colors that these bears were assigned for the days of the week have always been hard for me. Like, I'm sorry, but you should be Tuesday bear. Tuesday is red, but like, It's okay, it's fine. It's open to interpretation, although if you don't think that 7 is green, you are wrong, and I will throw hands. But like Thursday is also green, so speaking of group number 4, we have the green bear and this green butterfly card on top, and Thursday written on his little paw. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile you feel most drawn to. It is absolutely okay, like I said, to be drawn to more than one. I am gonna go ahead now and get into my intro squad. We're gonna do our mini message and light our candle, make a wish. So if you would like to meet me over there, I'm gonna do that really quickly, but I'm gonna clear the bears out of the way because fire hazard. So okay, so the candle that we are going to be making a wish on today is the sun candle. If you are unaware, I do have a candle line with Angelic Magic 888. At this time, we are doing a candle sale until December 9th, 2024. So if you watch this video before then, if you want to get 25% off, you can use code ASO25 for that. But every single tarot candle comes with a mini tarot card inside, and that is whether you get the full size or the mini cards. And the sun card represents positivity, joy, success. It's one of the most optimistic cards of the deck. It can also represent things like inner children, or literally children, more so literally children, which is perfect for the bear vibe. So what I'm going to do now is reveal whatever the card is and make our wish. Ooh, okay, so we have the Hermit, and we'll get into that in a second. But first, if you would like to go ahead and just focus your energy, focus your desire, your intentions, your wish on the candle, you can even pause the video to make it really strong. I'm going to go ahead and make a wish myself. And may yours, mine, and all of our wishes come true. So intro squad, I do want to hear, what is one of your favorite toys, items, comfort objects from childhood? Do you still have it? Do you not? What was one of your favorite things from childhood? I just want to hear. Tell me about something that you love from childhood that you still love or that brings you comfort. I would love to hear it. Love my intro squad. And leave me a bear emoji to let me know you're here if you don't want to answer that. I always love seeing your guys' comments. I'm like blown away that you even take the time to listen to this. Okay, but the Hermit card. This I actually really like to see, even though some of you might not. The Hermit's not bad, but I do definitely feel like for a lot of you, this could be a sign that you may need to kind of, why can't I think of the word? The word, you might want to embrace solitude for a little bit. And that doesn't mean for like a long time or anything like that. But it definitely seems like there's a message you're not receiving, or there's wisdom that your internal world has for you that you're not hearing, that you're not receiving because you haven't been able to kind of quiet the noise around you and be able to go within. And even if you are alone, that doesn't mean that you're actually spending time with yourself. You know, if you spend all your alone time distracted on social media or doing other things, it just definitely seems like your inner world needs your attention, especially because it is trying to give you some necessary information that could be helpful to you. And what that is, I think, could be unique for all of you. But there's also a second message here. And it's actually heavily dependent on what camp you fall in. For some of you, this Hermit card is telling you that even if you are spending a lot of time alone, the quality of connection with self that you are having may not be effective enough to make this alone time really effective. And in fact, there's actually 3 camps. If you spend all of your time alone, I do think that there's an encouragement here to improve the quality of your alone time, and also think about how maybe you don't necessarily need to be isolated. The Hermit is about, you know, solitude, going within, leaning into your own wisdom, as someone whose family nickname was the Hermit, I appreciate and admire. When I discovered that the Hermit was a card in tarot, I felt so seen. But just know that your presence is wanted, and that people want you around, and that if you're holding back from connecting with others because you feel like you won't be understood, or you feel like you won't be appreciated, or that your presence is a bother, I feel like this is a sign to recognize that that's not actually the truth. That might be unresolved wounding, or really just how you feel about yourself. And I think that there's a need for you to recognize that you deserve to take up space, especially in groups, and you need connection and you need community. Your unique perspective is valuable, and even if people can't always understand it, they could benefit from it, and maybe not in the present, but maybe the future. I also feel like you have a lot of wisdom that you don't necessarily realize you have, because you don't give yourself the opportunity to be put in scenarios where it could be tested. So, you know, I feel like you might feel like you haven't made a lot of progress on like inner work or on growth as a person, and then you might find when you're actually just around your peers or around other people, you start to have a greater reflection or like idea of, oh no, wow, actually I have grown a lot, or wow, like, you know, I think you'll realize you might be unnecessarily hard on yourself. And the Hermit is also Virgo energy. So if you have Virgo placements, you may want to look at where you can give yourself a bit of grace and stop being so hard on yourself, even if you don't have Virgo placements, honestly. If you are struggling with perfectionism right now, there's a real need for you to address that and look inward and see why that is, because perfectionism is psychopathic. It is anti-human, and it is not only just terrible for the soul, it's just terrible for you in general, and it robs you from living and being human. And I feel like part of the wisdom that the Hermit might be wanting to share with you is the freedom that comes from being imperfect, and the freedom that comes from not being so hard on yourself and taking yourself so seriously and feeling like you're not allowed to be human, to exist, to take up space, even though others are. You know, I also think, though, for some of you, on the flip side, maybe giving too much of your time and energy away to others and really struggling as a result. You might be feeling compassion fatigue, or you might be feeling just drained all the time and not quite understand why. And it could just be because you just need some good old-fashioned alone time. And I feel like if you needed a sign or an encouragement to take action or even splurge in a way that will allow you to have some alone time, like for example, you know, if you have kids, like maybe paying someone to, you know, watch them for the night or something like that, so you can go do something, or so that you can just even sleep in your bedroom and not have to worry about like what they're doing. I feel like there's just a real need for you to have calm, peace, quiet, and alone time. And I feel like for those of you that have a lot of alone time, it's more so about paying attention to the quality of that alone time and how you're using it. Are you actually connecting with yourself, or are you connecting with screens and concepts and things that distract you from yourself? It's okay to do that in moderation, but I do feel like if you find that you have a lot of alone time and yet you still feel like you need more, it's probably because the alone time you do have is not satiating your need for connection with yourself. I feel like the core of this message is your inner world is dying to connect with your conscious mind. And I feel like if there's a lot of internal tension or anxiety, or just nerves, irritation, frustration, tension, it could very well be because that's your body's version of alarm bells to say, hey, conscious mind, there's things that we need you to see, we want to connect. And it can just be as simple as tuning into, what does my body need right now? How could I support myself right now? Like, what because that's the thing too, you might overthink what your body is trying to tell you, and it might be as simple as, we need more sleep, or we need to set boundaries with this habit or this person or our schedule. You know, I think sometimes the things that we need to hear are a lot more concrete and plain than we recognize, and I think that you might be overestimating how challenging it'll be to listen to what your body, your intuition, your inner world has to say. But really, it's just a matter of giving your mind the opportunity to slow down. And I know that can be challenging, but it's a skill that you can work on and can build. And I feel like the more you can learn to just open up and listen, and instead of trying to analyze and figure out what's going on, try to instead not figure things out. Maybe observe, but whatever you observe, don't analyze, and just let answers come to you, because they will come to you in ways that are simple, that are clear, that are effective, and are just like light bulb aha moments where you're like, oh, and it's not a matter of you didn't know it or you didn't realize it. It's just a matter of there was so much noise going on either in your mind or around you that there was no possible way that you could hear it. It's like a fart in a windstorm. Like how are you gonna recognize that's there when there's much more powerful windy forces at hand? Although some of you might have farts so powerful it is a match for a windstorm, right? And thank God for that windstorm if it's silent but deadly. But anyway, I definitely think more than anything, you're being called to look at your relationship to connection and isolation, and the quality of those in terms of like connection with others, connection with self, isolation from others, and isolation from yourself. I especially think as well, if you're having trouble in terms of like friendships or the right people to connect with, I feel like the most effective people that you can connect with will be the ones that you can kind of share your inner world with. And if you haven't forged those connections yet and found bonds like that, I do feel like this is a sign that by listening to your intuition more, you could be led right to those people. And it's not a matter of like consciously taking notes on what your intuition is saying. It's just acting in the moment based on what you're experiencing and trusting that and going with the flow with that, and then being led to people, experiences, messages, situations, and awareness beyond what your conscious mind could have ever strategized or planned for you. But I think more than anything, give yourself some grace, be gentle with yourself, and just give yourself space to listen. In the words of the Dark Brotherhood, let me ask you this. If you've ever played Skyrim, or I don't know if the other Elder Scrolls do this, but if you've ever played Skyrim, what is the music of life? It's silence, brother. So I think a lot of answers could come to you in silence, and that is actually something like with headphones and all the crap that we have nowadays. I mean, headphones aren't crap, I love mine, but there's so much noise, and being able to just quiet that and consciously recognize when you've had too much, when it's overstimulating, or when you do need to dial it back and just sit with the silence and the boredom and the discomfort of that can bring. Not only is that a superpower, but I think the answers that maybe you've been frantically looking for in the outside world will come to you sooner than you think, and realize they were always within you. So that is the mini message. I hope that it resonated, but we're gonna go ahead and get into the reading now. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. And yeah, I can't wait to see you in your reading. Hi there, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the orange bear and this butterfly card, then this is going to be your reading on the message meant to find you. So if you want a full breakdown of the reading, there is one in the intro, but we're going to start by looking at the card our sweet bear is holding, and this is a truth that you are ready to bear. So starting with that, we have, I am a unique child of the universe, perfectly me, exactly as I am meant to be, which I love. I definitely feel like just starting off, there is a reality that you need to surrender to, that you need to stop idealizing. Well, you don't need to do anything, but I would recommend you stop idealizing concepts of idealizing yourself in ways that you know are either unrealistic or that go against your nature, in the sense of like, you know, if who you think you should be is someone that is so different from how you truly are, there's a need for you to take a step back and recognize how wonderful the version of you is, and to really ask yourself, you know, am I holding myself to unrealistic standards? Am I pushing the goalpost so far that it's giving me the excuse to not acknowledge how wonderful I already am? Because I think one thing that you may forget is that you're wonderful as you are. And in fact, it is you that is perfect for your journey. You know, you might feel like you need to be someone else or act as someone else or be put together in a way that probably doesn't even exist, because even the people that you may be idealizing or feeling like you need to emulate, aren't even what you perceive them to be. You know, you don't see what goes on within them, why they are the way that they are. And I feel like there is a call for you to start honoring your uniqueness more, whether people get it or not. And let's just get into the rest of the cards and see what else wants to come through. So we also have the Empress. We have Miracles. We have the Queen of Cups. We have the third eye chakra. The theme is clarity. The trigger statement is I am so confused, and the true statement is I am present. Allow your mind to clear and let the noise of your thoughts fall away. Listen to your intuition. And finally, we have the Page of Wands. So make sure this is all in the frame. Yes, it is. But it's kind of crooked. I don't really like that. Okay. All right, that's better. I love this. Okay. I just don't know how I want to start this. So as I'm like trying to pull your messages through, I definitely feel a lot of nervousness around how am I going to phrase this. Let me just say this, there are so many beautiful things coming your way, and you are not wrong for feeling like even if everything right now in your life is going terribly, or your life has been turned upside down, or things just feel like they will never get better, let me just tell you that you are literally like, for some of you, literally minutes away from your next miracle. But not only that, I feel like miracles are going to start happening for you in ways that you can't even imagine. And actually, I'm gonna read what this Miracles card says because I feel like it is what you need to hear. And for some reason, as soon as I started, well, not for some reason, this happens when I do these readings, my mind feels very scrambled in ways where I can't even attach, like, I can't even pinpoint core concepts right now and like clear things. And that was not an issue when I started this video. So I definitely feel like there is a lot of, like, your mind is probably racing a lot. And there's probably a lot of, like, just internal chaos that isn't even yours. I feel like the only reason it is yours is because this chaos has created a lot of doubt, which could be connected to a lack of self-esteem that you might have around your worthiness, around your value. But there's a greater force within you that just knows things without knowing them, and knows that not only are you deserving of wonderful things, but that in fact the universe does have your back even if you can't see it. I also feel like I just had the image of someone like blowing out a candle or putting out a flame, and I definitely feel like there could be internal beliefs that you've internalized that really screw up your momentum, or just things that have really caused you to lose your spark. And I feel like you're really being encouraged to let go of that which does. And if you need to do healing around that, absolutely do, and have compassion for it. But you don't need to consider whether it's true or not, because it's not. It's just the projection of others or the projections of society. But let's talk about this Miracles card. First of all, double rainbow. Like, you know the double rainbow video where that guy's like, oh my God, like, and he's like, you know, just so in awe of the double rainbow all the way across the sky. Like, that's how the universe feels about you. Like, and just you are a miracle. The fact that you're here, the fact that you exist, you know, all the little pieces, all the little fragments of you, they're all miracles, and they're all special. And like, you are a special concoction that nobody else could replicate, and that's so beautiful. And the worst part is like, I think this is the case for all of us, but we never truly see like our value and our uniqueness and the value that we bring in the way that others do, because it's us. So, you know, we have a different perspective, and not necessarily one that is correct. But let's talk about this Miracles card. The storms of the past are passing and your dreams are coming true. No matter what has happened in the past, your future holds abounding miracles. Good fortune, celestial beauty, and inner divinity are expanded within you. Believe that your life is guided. Trust in the goodness of the universe. A celestial bridge to the heavens is opening for you. Start a health program, invest in your career, or initiate a relationship, and good fortune will manifest. Blessings are flowing in all directions. Believe that you deserve the best because you do. Bounty, joy, blessings, and miracles are flowing your way. And I feel like you needed to hear that. And I feel like for some of you, you're already like, well, I don't think this is my reading because I don't believe that. Well, this is definitely your reading if that's the case, because you need to shift that belief. Because I know that there's a whole lot of you that wants to believe that and knows deep down that it's true, but you just don't want to be hurt and you don't want to be disappointed. And hurt and disappointment are parts of life. We can't avoid that. But you've had a lot of that. And I feel like you might be a little bit biased right now because of your past experiences. And what I feel like is really happening, like the reason why this message is coming to find you is to have you reclaim the parts of you that you shouldn't be ashamed of having, and realize that these parts that you might be avoiding or neglecting are actually the ones that are going to keep you centered and calm as you receive these miracles, as you receive these blessings. And also it will be the internal navigation system to lead you to even more blessings, to lead you to even more joy and more clarity in your life. If you've been trying to go at life right now solely from your head, that's part of the problem. A lot of inner clarity for you lies in your heart, and also lies in the freedom of not knowing, not having to know what the answers are, and trusting that when you need answers, they will come to you. With this Page of Wands here, you could be receiving good news soon or hearing from someone soon that has good news to bring, or that is connected to certain miracles. You could even be reconnecting with someone soon. If you've been thinking about someone from your past, like a childhood friend or something like that, you may be called to reach out to them. There could be, or they might reach out to you. There could be opportunities through there. But this Queen of Cups is very powerful to me because, first of all, you don't have to be a woman to resonate with the Queen of Cups. But this is a very sensitive, intuitive, psychic card. The Queen of Cups is the most psychic queen of the deck. And I feel like there's a lot of intuitive information that you've received that for some of you might have forgotten about, or you may be holding on to, but don't really know whether or not you can trust it. And I feel like you're really being called to, number one, write those things down, or just hold on to them in a way where you can allow the universe to prove your intuition correct. But also the soft parts of you, the gentle, compassionate, nurturing parts of you really need your support right now. It's quite possible that you've been suppressing those parts of self because it is painful to be sensitive and open and compassionate in a world that does not really value those traits, and in a world that could even look down on you for those traits. But that's all the more reason why you need to hold on to those, because, and I keep saying you need, and I don't like saying that. And so I wouldn't be shocked if you are telling yourself, I need to be like this, I need to do that. Like, in order for me to get this, I need to be purely logical and strategic. And I feel like the universe is saying, actually, no, you were designed perfectly for the miracles that you are meant to receive. And you don't have to prove your worth or do really anything to quote, earn them. You will receive them. It's more so a matter of adjusting how you navigate your life and how you go about caring for yourself, addressing the world, perceiving the world. Because with this Empress card being here, your power lies in honoring all parts of you. And you have this cool, incredible ability to do so many things at once, to be so many different versions of yourself. But I think one of the cons of that is it's really easy to get stuck in versions of yourself that are more societally acceptable, or that are just safer and easier and less vulnerable than, say, for example, the part of you that feels compassion for every being on the street, the part of you that sees beauty in places that nobody else does, the part of you that still believes that miracles can happen, that there's always hope, and that, you know, there's always something better or something more beautiful, or a bright side right around the corner you just haven't seen yet. And I feel like the universe is saying you're right. And I feel like you're really having your shine dulled by the world saying you're wrong, and by your past experiences, and then your mind, your fearful mind, being like, yeah, well, we shouldn't hope for that, because what if it just gets even worse, and what if things implode even more? And the thing is like, you need these soft, sensitive parts of you, especially when things are tough, because that is what is going to help you be gentle with yourself when you are dealing with that. But the universe is like, hey, we got a lot of beautiful things coming to you. We don't want you to block your blessings. So instead of trying to figure things out, why don't you just sit with yourself a little bit and kind of tune into what's going on within you? This is kind of similar to the mini message in that reading, where there's just a real need for you to start reclaiming your worth and not be afraid to be excited and explore what makes your heart feel good, even if it doesn't make sense, even if it's not something that's necessarily socially acceptable. But I also think that there's this interesting process that you might be going through where you're reparenting yourself, or just learning to advocate for yourself and stand up for yourself in ways that you never could have in the past. And I feel like one thing that the universe is saying is that you really need your heart space and your compassionate self in terms of that self-advocacy, because that is what's going to help you know when you do need to stand up for yourself and tune into when something is wrong, when you're feeling unheard, when you're feeling like, you know, something is happening that disrespects you or violates your boundaries. But I also feel like with this Page of Wands, I do think that there is this inner child healing that's happening, and I don't know how conscious it is. And like, I will also say that you don't even need to consciously be seeking out inner child healing. I think that this is more so a process of reconnecting to your inner divine spark and the childlike version of yourself that believed that anything was possible, and that knew that magic existed, and that, you know, miracles can happen, and that beautiful, amazing things can happen, and like the part of you that just had hope for the future. And I think collectively, like, hope is something that the collective is really struggling with right now for understandable reasons, but that's all the more reason why we need it, and why you need to give yourself the freedom to feel that without your mind incessantly analyzing it or tearing it down or pushing it away out of fear that it won't be real or it won't be true. You have a profoundly acute sense of psychic awareness that I feel like you're not tapping into or not trusting, because it's either happening naturally or it's something that you have tuned into in the past, and maybe the things that you felt ended up not happening, or they happened differently, or you just feel like you can't trust yourself. And I feel like the universe is saying you can. One thing that I feel like the universe wants to challenge you on is, you know, the way that you're able to hold other beings with love, and even despite their flaws, like, see the beauty in their flaws, see the beauty in who they are, and just look at them through the eyes of love. You're being challenged to do the same, and being challenged to just be open to the unknown in a way where you don't have to stress yourself out trying to have everything figured out, have everything prepared. In fact, you're really being encouraged to lean into the passionate and emotional parts of yourself, because those are the parts of you that are actually leading you to these miracles that are coming to you. Those are the parts of you that will inspire profound and prosperous change. And those are the parts of you that are going to be most satisfying and nourishing for you right now. And I feel like those are the parts of you that have been suppressed the most in favor of practical and logical ways of being. And being practical and logical are great, wonderful things in moderation, right? And I feel like there are just parts of you that are so thirsty and hungry for acknowledgement from you, and just the desire to be expressed through you. And I also feel like you're really being encouraged to just express your emotions more, express how you feel more, and don't be afraid to share more of your softness with the world, because I feel like you'd be shocked how much people need it and how beautifully it will be received more often than not. I feel like there is this process of reparenting that you're going through, and I feel like it might be a little bit vulnerable, or no, not vulnerable, but like, it's just, I get this vibe like you kind of feel like you're alone in this process. And I feel like the miracles and blessings that are coming to you is going to be a huge universal reminder that you're not alone. I wouldn't be shocked if rainbows are following you, or you see a lot of rainbows. Like, that is definitely a sign that the divine is shining down on you, and that these miracles and blessings are well on their way. And I'm sure some have already happened. Maybe, or at the very least, like the stage has been set for them to happen. I just definitely feel like this message was meant to find you because you needed to be reminded that there's nothing wrong with who you are. And in fact, the only thing that's wrong with you right now is the fact that you believe that there are things wrong with you. I mean, we can all grow and we can all improve, but there's a fundamental difference between like things that we can develop in self and things that are just inherent to who we are. And like, every human has a heart, and like every human deserves to have a connection with their heart. Like, your heart is the representative of your soul. Your heart has so much wisdom for you, and I feel like in ignoring it or distracting yourself from it or pretending like it's invalid or it doesn't exist is creating a lot of internal tension that is just creating more suffering and making you more confused when you really don't need to be. The fact that we have this third eye card here, like, you have a profound ability to see things before they happen, to know things before they happen, to feel things before they happen. And you're really being encouraged to trust in that more, and also not feel like you have to. There's a message here about not overthinking your intuition. I say this a lot, but anxiety screams, intuition whispers. And in this case, I feel like the best way you can tap into your intuition, instead of just thinking about it or like analyzing it or observing it, just being in your present moment. And I would even say this, you don't even need to like go into meditation or anything like that. Really, all you need to do is make sure that your consciousness is grounded within your body and that you are in the present moment, you know? Because that's when those insights are going to come through. Like, an example that I'm thinking of is, let's say you're cleaning. You know, cleaning is not a very interesting thing to do. So oftentimes we'll listen to something or, you know, be kind of distracted off in our own heads while we're doing it. So we're not really consciously present with the actions that we're taking. So instead of doing that, well, I mean, it's probably natural, you're going to do that no matter what. But paying attention to when that happens, redirecting yourself to the present moment, like consciously connecting to the actions that you're taking and just into your body and the sensations and perceptions that you're having, that's when intuitive insight is going to come in, that is redirecting you to where you need to go. And if you're not getting insight into that, if you're not getting answers, then just keep doing what you're doing, because if you need to know something, it will be brought to your attention. But I definitely feel like there's more whimsy and wonder wanting to come into your life and into your world. And I know that your heart needs it so desperately. And there's a part of you that may feel like, I can't be a mature adult and also honor this part of myself. But that's not true. Like, part of maturity is acknowledging the fact that you are a being of worth, and that all people are just like all adults are children in big bodies, and that no matter how old you get, you will always have like a childlike spark within you. And I think it really just wants to be relit and be there to bring warmth, not only to you, but to help you share that with others and help others reawaken their inner divine spark, that inner childlike self. And I think there's also a message here of, it doesn't matter how old you are. Like, you always, like, it is the qualities that I'm discussing, they're inherent to your being, and you can detach yourself from them. You can pretend like they don't exist, but that just leads to tension and frustration and suffering for yourself, and there's no reason to have that. There's already enough suffering in the world as it is. You don't need to make it even harder on yourself by denying parts of who you are, especially when those parts of yourself are so, what's the right word, integral to you being in alignment with what is true to you, and when it comes to leading you towards more of what the universe wants for you, I wouldn't say what the universe wants for you, what you truly want for yourself, and what the universe wants to give you, what the universe wants to help you receive. And these energies, you know, the Page of Wands, the Queen of Cups, these are your fire and water energy. So your passion, your momentum, your energy, your inspiration, and your emotional body are going to be the tools of communication with the universe and the tools of co-creation with the universe, where you are able to trust more. Think of your practicality and your logical sides as aids to your passionate and emotional sides. Like, the passionate and emotional sides should be leading you right now, and the practical and logical sides of you should be supporting and assisting. More than anything though, like, I really just think there's an overall message here about just recognizing how worthy you are, and the fact that you were made exactly as you were for a reason, and that there is not a hair or lack thereof out of place. And I think especially if you are a parent or someone who's just responsible for a lot of other people, there's an extra message here about not forgetting yourself in that process. You know, just because you can be there for everyone, just because you do have a lot of stamina to help others, doesn't mean that you should neglect yourself in the process. There's a real need for you to just reaffirm and reassert yourself as just being a valuable, worthy person, and the fact that, you know, you deserve gentleness, you deserve kindness, you deserve compassion, you deserve wonderful, beautiful things, and those things are coming to you, but you can have them right now by giving them to yourself. And that can be as simple as just when you walk by a mirror, looking at yourself straight in the eyes and saying, I love you, you're worthy. If there are habits you're trying to break, you know, I think the affirmation, I accept myself, is a really powerful one to use, because a lot of times we can fall into unhealthy patterns of being because we feel shame, because we feel not good enough, because we're frustrated with ourselves. And so learning to accept ourselves, flaws and all, and affirming that, I think, could be really helpful for you. But the universe really wants you to get excited and focus on things that make you feel passionate, and in your free time, you know, make sure that you are doing things that nourish you emotionally and make you feel excited and passionate about living, about being, about existing, about creating. There's a lot of creative potential here. There's a lot of potential for whatever you have been trying to create more of in your life. By tapping into your passion, your inspiration, your courage, your heart, your beliefs that support your heart, and your greater trust in the unknown, miracles will unfold before you in ways that you could have never imagined. So start trusting yourself more, because there's a lot of beautiful things that want to come your way. So we're going to go ahead and go a bit deeper now into the tarot. I am using the Good Tarot for every group. There is a siren going off, and I'm trying to think what questions I want to ask. I think the first thing I want to ask is, I want to get a card to address maybe what you need to know about I want to get a card addressing any fears, worries, or like blockages that you've had, and just see what Spirit wants you to know about them. So Spirit, what can you tell pile 1 about their worries, fears, and blockages that have kind of stopped them? Okay. we have the Eight of Cups. So this is all about moving away from things that no longer fulfill you or serve you, particularly emotionally. There are things you're ready to walk away from, and I think that these things could be as simple as just habits or ways of talking to yourself, ways of talking about yourself. One thing I'm hearing is self-deprecating humor. That is a big thing. Like, you may not realize it, but what we say about ourselves, whether it's joking or not, our subconscious holds on to. And I think that you might even find that, like, what was once a very comfortable way of relating now feels icky and weird. That's a sign that you're meant to move away from that, you know? So I think that with this Eight of Cups especially, part of stepping into the reality you truly want to be a part of is recognizing what can't stay in that reality. You know, you can't be someone that has a positive sense of self-worth and be hard on yourself all the time, or, you know, engage in habits and behaviors that you know don't contribute to that. I mean, like, and I'm not saying that you can't slip up or that you can't do those things occasionally, but there are things you know that you don't need to bring with you into the future. And I think a lot of that is just this expectation that things are not going to turn out for you, that with every good thing that happens, a bad thing is sure to follow. And maybe even looking at things in terms of good and bad, letting go of that concept entirely, and just spending less time analyzing what the future might be, analyzing every single thing that comes your way, and instead just finding gratitude and joy in the present moment. Like, that's a big thing. If you tend to live in the future or in the past, redirecting to your present, that will be the most powerful way for you to continue grounding this new reality that you're cultivating for yourself, that the universe wants for you, that's more loving, more prosperous, more abundant, and more joyful. So I think if there are emotional issues especially that have been really holding you back from feeling good about yourself, or that have been really snagging you back into a past version of yourself that you know you're not, that you know doesn't align with you, that is really what you want to look at healing, releasing, forgiving. Let's get some guidance on how you can embrace this emotional closure and this moving forward. So how can pile number 1 release the past and the versions of them that no longer serve? How can they release old beliefs and really anything in their life that does not support the person they're becoming and support the person they already are? We have the Nine of Pentacles. So I'm actually going to read this one from the book because I feel like it could be very helpful. But I think there's a partial message here about, number 1, embracing your independence and the fact that you don't need others to affirm the value that you already have, but also to just take a look materially, like what you already have, who you've already become. Like, especially, like, let's say, for example, you know, you were bullied a lot when you were a kid, and even though you're in your 30s, for example, you still find yourself doing things that you did as a kid as a way to self-soothe or as a way to protect yourself or keep others out. There's a real need to really look at who you are now in the mirror and recognize, like, you're a fully adult human being. Yes, that child is still within you, but that child needs to see that you're an adult, because you should be an adult if you're watching this, that you are not the version of yourself that was defenseless, that was at the mercy of these people, and that in fact you have value beyond what you can even see, and like the person standing in front of you deserves the same love and compassion that the younger version of you did and that it maybe didn't get, or the support that it didn't get. You have a lot more power than you realize to just, instead of focus on what happened in the past, to counter what happened in the past with, well, look at where we are in the present, look at what we have now. We know that's not true because of XYZ, but I wanted to say Z, so maybe some of you are Canadian. Love that. Shout out to Canada. Anyway, Discipline, self-reliance, reliable resources, restraint, and self-control, the final stone placed in the foundation. I know I can rely on myself and spirit. There are many tools at my disposal, and I use my resources wisely, solidifying the foundation of my security in the material world. I am diligent and disciplined, focused on completing the work I began long ago. I stick to my program, trusting that the plan unfolding before me is exactly as spirit intended. So you already have mastered a lot of this. So I feel like actually one thing that you could do is, you know, if you struggle, like if you're worried that you'll fall back into a state of emotional volatility, or you're worried about addressing, you know, things from your past, or looking at things from your past because you're afraid of what it will create in you emotionally. I'm hearing Danny DeVito and It's Always Sunny, where he's in the therapist's office and he's like, oh, you unzip me. It's okay to be unzipped. You will find that you have a lot more tools at your disposal than you realized, and that in fact you're well more equipped to handle things than you realized. And you know, whatever you have been avoiding, actually in facing that, you will find a lot of freedom. And I think also, you know, all the wonderful habits and tools that you've already built will be an excellent support system in helping you move away from your past self and be a creative tool to affirm who you want to be and who you already are, and help your conscious mind step away from what isn't true, what isn't you. So I want to go ahead now and see what I feel like spirit, like I want to ask what miracles are coming, but that I feel like spirit is not going to tell us that. So instead, I do just want to ask a blessing that you're stepping into, because I think the miracles are a surprise, but blessings don't have to be. Actually, let's do this. I want to ask about something that you've already been dreaming about, wanting to cultivate, have been feeling intuitively, and what spirit wants you to know about it. So, spirit, okay. Yep. If everything feels like it's falling apart right now, it's because you're bringing these dreams together. This is the Death card. So just know that the life that you're dreaming of is being created right now, and the endings that you're facing and the transformations you're having, the growth that you're having. I feel like I just heard the term micro blessings in my head. There will be micro blessings on this step to much bigger blessings that you're trying to cultivate and create. But just know anything that falls away that you don't want to, once it's released, you'll realize why it had to go, and also realize like, oh, I actually don't even need this. It's making me thinking of people like myself who, when they travel, are incapable of packing light. I dream of packing light. I want to so badly, but you know, it doesn't matter how, I somehow always end up packing more than I need. And so I feel like there's this universal process right now where whatever isn't meant to come with you through this transformation, through this journey, the universe is kind of releasing. But also just know that the life that you're dreaming of, the life that is coming in, is one that is so profound and will create a shift so profound that the version of you that you're walking away from, the versions of you that you're ready to release, you won't even recognize that version of you, and won't even be able, like, you will look back and be like, how was I ever like that? Or like, I can't even remember what it was like to be there. And I am so excited for you to experience that, because there's so much liberation in the future for you. What the universe also really wants you to know is that you're doing amazing already. And with this number 13, you know, 1 is the number of the Magician card and 3 is the number of the Empress. So I feel like Empress and Magician energy could be working together to kind of help you create the life that you're stepping into. The Empress is a more earthly card, and it's all about fertility, creativity, earth cycles, abundance, beauty, all wonderful things like that. And the Magician is all about manifestation. It's about grounding divine will into the third dimension using all of the elements around you. And I feel like you may not see it quite yet, but you are the magician, and you're also the empress, in the sense that, in a literal sense, and also in the sense that you, through this process, you are going to continue and start uncovering the reality of how much power that you have, how much power lies in a simple choice, in a simple perspective shift, in a simple attitude shift, and to not give up on these greater transformations that you're going through. And don't take, the 2 steps forward, 1 step back thing as a sign that you're doing something wrong. Take it instead as just a beautiful reality that, anytime you take 1 step back, it's just helping you propel yourself forward. And in that 1 step back, you can even remind yourself or grow or gain wisdom from any final lessons these things that you're walking away from have for you. You're stepping into, for you, literally a new world order, not in the scary conspiracy kind of way, but in a literal, like, how you look at the world, how you view the world, and your trust in yourself, your trust in the universe, and your trust in what is meant to come for you. I feel like you're really just being encouraged. Whatever needs to go, whatever is not meant to stick around, start taking action towards that, because you will feel freer and lighter and less confused. And I also think that there is this encouragement to not get attached to what you think the outcome will be, and instead really embrace this journey, because there's so much awareness that you could be gaining insight from and learning about yourself through, that you may not be paying attention to right now because you've been overthinking and worrying about, am I doing the right thing? Am I not? Being just consciously present with this process and with yourself as much as you can every day. Like, you're gonna have so many cool insights that you couldn't see before. And just know that what you're creating is coming, and that the universe is assisting you with that process. And to let go of feeling like you need to prove yourself to make that happen, that you need to be completely in control. In fact, if you can just let go of control entirely and give yourself like the freedom to just not know, that will get you in the position to receive blessings, to receive guidance, and to be in the right position sooner, more quickly, and just get you where you want to be. I don't know if what I'm saying is making any sense, but I really hope it is. And on the bottom of the deck we have, this is the Judgment card, but it says call. So I feel like you could be getting a lot of communication from the universe, but also, like I said, this could also be another sign that you're getting a significant call, certain news. But more than anything, Judgment is profound transformation, where you really can't go back to what once was, and it's a rebirth. So you are dying in order to be reborn, not in the literal sense, but in a figurative sense. And I think you're already going through that process. It just may be messy and confusing, and you may be feeling like you're not going to see the other side of it, but you absolutely are. You are being guided and protected by so many beings in the ethereal realms. You are so loved, and your soul has been calling you towards greater things, greener pastures, and calling you to just be present with the great, beautiful, wonderful self that you already are, and the great, beautiful, wonderful things that are already around you, because that conscious awareness just helps you attract even more. You are rising to the version of yourself that is better than you could have imagined, because not only is it aligned with where your dreams are and who you want to be, it also doesn't disrespect, neglect, or deny the parts of you that are so true to you. They will always be a part of you no matter who you are. And we love to see that. So now I'm going to do a little book divination, and using this little book, I'm just going to close my eyes and thumb the pages, and we are just going to ask, Spirit, what self-care guidance does pile 1 need at this time? What do they need to hear, please? Well, I can tell that's... we have a rainbow! Okay, I love that. Allowing yourself to find magic in the little things is one of the sweetest ways you can interact with the world. When you look for it, you'll find it. Oh my gosh, I love this. And it's so true. And this is a part of you that already exists, and that the cynical side of you, and I love the quote, inside of every Inside of every cynic is a disappointed idealist. And so I feel like you really need to give your inner idealist a little bit of love and recognize, like, okay, maybe we're not all, like, maybe sometimes our idealism needs to be tempered with some practicality, but it shouldn't be gone. And I definitely think that this is just encouragement to maybe, like, if go for a walk, and instead of putting your headphones in, just listen to the birds chirp and look at the flowers around you, pay attention to the sights and the smells. Even if you're in a grubby city, you know, pay attention to the people going about their lives that, you know, have no clue that you're looking at them through loving eyes, or just recognizing, like, wow, it's such a miracle that I'm able to walk. It's such a miracle that I'm able to breathe and to see. Like, there's so much magic around you, and I feel like it will really nourish you in a way that you maybe haven't even realized, to just acknowledge those things and see things that you wouldn't see. Like, let an ant crawl on you and observe the miracle of life occur. Like, self-care for you is just being present in the moment and noticing the magic around you that you may not have noticed before because you were too in your head or weren't paying attention. And then also just realize, wow, if this magic is around me, it must also be in me. And it is. Phrasing. Okay, so we're gonna finish off with some guidance from MEGADECK. I'm using 2 different decks today. I'll have them listed below, but I know MEGADECK is shining down on you and excited to give you guidance and messages. So, Miss Mighty Powerful MEGADECK, what guidance do you have for pile number 1 at this time? What do they need to know? Yeah, basically what I said for however long I've been doing this reading. Stop overthinking it. You know what you need to know. And if you don't know it, you don't need to. Because when you do, you'll know it. Like, this is a we'll call you, don't call us sort of thing. The universe will call you. Your intuition will call you. When you need to pay attention, it will happen. Your internal ringer is on. You will not miss the message. When it happens, you will know. So if nothing is happening, then just exist and do your thing. Do your thing and be gentle with yourself. What else, Miss MEGADECK? Take action now. So yeah, there are definitely things that you know you could be doing to bring about these changes and bring you closer to the dreams that you're looking for. So stop waiting and take action. I feel like if you're waiting, it's because you don't feel like you're good enough, or there are things that you don't really have to do, but that you feel a sense of urgency about because you feel like you're a bad person or a less than ideal person if you don't do those things first. Stop shaming yourself into doing things you don't want to do when you could be doing things that uplift you and bring you joy and bring you closer to the life that you want. Because when you're going back into those things that don't really resonate for you, and I'm not talking about things that are like necessary, I'm talking about things that are unnecessary. Like, yeah, sure, we have to do our laundry, but that doesn't mean that you have to like fold everything neatly and color code your closet. Like, you can just put that shit in there. Or like, as you know, like, I hope you get what I'm saying. But what else, Spirit? What else does pile? Alone time, self-care, enjoy your peace, recharge. So yeah, definitely give yourself time and space to be on your own and to just cultivate. If you didn't look at the mini message, you need to go back and do that, because that's definitely meant for you. And I feel like just being alone with your own energy and paying attention to just the fun parts of you that don't get to come out very often, like cultivating that self energy will help you let go of what isn't truly you. But one more, please, Miss MEGADECK. What would you like to pile number 1 to know? Yes, yes. I love, look at this little pig, he's so cute. This is how I picture you. You're probably so cute. Self-worth, love, value, and respect. Those are the keys to the dreams that you have. Those are the keys to feeling good in your present. Those are the keys to releasing your past. Those are the keys that you have been looking for to open the door to the reality that you know is possible for you to live in, that you've been dreaming about living in, and that you will discover is actually already within you, and that you can have right now by just embodying these things. I love this. And maybe pigs are a sign for you. Also, the number 11 could be a sign for you as well. But you're so loved and so precious and so sweet, and just know you don't need to prove yourself. You don't need anyone's approval other than your own. And you don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to be you and trust that you'll figure it out along the way. So pile 1, that's where I'm going to leave your reading. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background. That is one of the simplest and easiest ways to show support and appreciation for my channel. So thank you to everyone who does so. But if you would like to do that in other ways, you can like this video. You can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already. You can click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can check out my merch. You can check out my social media. You can check out my candles. Be sure to use code ASO10 for 10% off. If you're watching before December 9th, ASO25 for 25% off. You can check out other videos, especially ones with extendeds. But that's all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I really hope this reading resonated. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video. And I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose this butterfly card and the pink bear, this is going to be your reading on the message that was meant to find you. If you want a full breakdown of the reading, there's one in the intro. So to start, we are going to look at the truth you're ready to bear, because this bear is bearing truth. And we're going to see what that is and then go a bit deeper. So to start with the truth, it is everything is going to be okay. And I feel some of you exhaling, and it's true. Everything is going to be okay. So let's go ahead and elaborate on this and see what is going to be okay. What is the message that was meant to find you? So to start, we have perseverance. We have the Page of Swords. I don't know how I'm gonna lay these down, so bear with me. We have the Six of Wands. We have the heart chakra with the theme of awaken. The trigger statement is, I don't know what to do, and the true statement is, every moment is a new opportunity. Take time to engage your senses and create. The tension that has been dividing your head and your heart is leaving. And finally, we have love. Who doesn't love that? Okay, actually, I think this will be better this way. Let's do it. Let's do it this way. So let me make sure everything's in the frame. So I feel like, first of all, this is just a lovely sign that everything is going to be okay. That everything that you're worrying about, you have no need to worry about. Even if your fears come true, you're going to be able to handle them with grace and move through them easily. I actually want to start by reading this love card to you and give you kind of an idea of what this card is talking about. This is the Sacred Destiny Oracle. And I feel like this is something that's already in your life or coming into your life. I mean, obviously we all have love in our life in some way, at least I hope so. But I feel like love, whatever challenges you're going through right now, love itself will be something that really helps you move through it. This is all types of love. And there could also be more love coming into your life. If you are actively trying to manifest love, or especially a love relationship or a platonic soulmate relationship or something like that, that is definitely on the cards here. Your heart is a powerful magnet and also a source of strength to draw from, that I think this message is coming to remind you of, and also to remind you that just because you can't see something yet, or just because it isn't here yet, doesn't mean it's not happening. And also, I think that for a lot of you, there may be a deep desire for a truly loving relationship, especially a romantic relationship. And I feel like that is very well happening. You are creating that and you will be successful, but there is a need to trust in that, and also not force it, in the sense of like, what's the best way to put this? Like, trying to force someone or something to be that, because love doesn't do that. It simply allows and gives. What's that Bible quote about love? Anyway, this love card says, love is all around you. Love is coming into your life. You are already more cherished than you could possibly know. Indeed, you are a sacred vessel for love to flow through you when you stand in the center of it all. All is well. No matter what is happening around you, you know that you are loved and you are lovable. You know that there is nothing you need to do to deserve love. You are enough just as you are. The Creator is love, and in the depth of your soul, you are love. In matters of heart and romance, all is healing or already healed. In terms of self-love, your confidence and self-esteem are growing as you take time to cherish and care for yourself. So whatever you have been doing to care for yourself and support yourself, definitely don't stop doing that. But there's also, with the Six of Wands here, it can often talk about public recognition or success or an achievement or celebrating. And I feel like if you have achieved something recently, maybe it was a labor of love, maybe, or maybe this is a goal that you're focused on, you may be dealing with fears about, well, what happens afterward? Or having a hard time embracing that. This Page of Swords is really speaking to a couple of things. As an influence in your own life, it seems like you could be getting really tunnel vision. You could be experiencing a lot of tunnel vision around the reality of your situation based on fears. Like, for example, if you had some sort of success recently, congratulations. Tell me about it. I'd love to hear it. Tell me about it in the comment section. And feeling like, what if I'm never successful again? What if this is it? What if I can't top this? What if? And there's a real need for you to let go of what ifs, no matter what the subject is. So maybe, for example, you've met someone that you have deep feelings for, or you are connecting with someone that you feel like has the potential for a love relationship, or let's say you're already in a romantic relationship with someone that you love, and you're saying, well, what if it doesn't work out? What if they don't feel the same way? What if things implode? What if I mess it up? And the universe is really saying, calm down. Not in a patronizing way, but in a, you are wishing away your blessings because you're not seeing the reality that you deserve them. And you may not consciously be wishing them away, but there's a part of you that is almost so sure that you're going to lose it, or so sure that it's somehow going to be messed up, or so sure that it'll never truly come into your life, that you're not only blocking your ability to just feel more love and gratitude and respect for yourself now, but also, it'll be harder to be in love in many different ways. Like in a romantic relationship, it'll be harder for you to embrace and be present with the way it flows. If you're like constantly in your head and worrying about it, it might be more difficult to create from your heart space. If creative success is something that you're working on and you're afraid you can't top what you're doing, or feel like you have to replicate something in order for it to be good, there's a need for you to recognize that the most genuine action to take is the one that comes straight from your heart, that has no ulterior motives behind it or intentions for gain. And I feel like wherever you are at right now in life, the universe is saying, just keep going and don't overthink it. Now, there's also another message, actually, it will relate to all of you. You are shining right now, especially if you've had some sort of success. You are catching the attention of a lot of people. If you've shared that on social media, which you absolutely should, celebrate yourself and share your wins. It is quite possible that you could get some immature or petty comments that stem from a place of jealousy. And I feel called to remind you that the love that exists for you, like the pride that exists for you, the astonishment that exists for you is so far greater than anyone who might be jealous or petty or say some snarky comment to you. And so I'm feeling called to say, like, if you're hearing that, or like, let's say, for example, someone's like, oh yeah, let's see you top that thing. Like let's say you have a job and you have a coworker. I'm hearing Brenda. So Brenda is not a real person. I mean, she may be a real person in your life, but this hypothetical Brenda, let's just say Brenda eats bitterness for breakfast, bitter Brenda. And let's say you come up with this awesome presentation and Brenda is mad because she hasn't put in effort into her job since like 1995. You know, she's too busy being bitter, right? And so let's say she's jealous of the recognition you receive, and so she tells you to your face like, oh, I didn't think it was that great, or I heard the boss didn't think it was that, like, some people could be saying some shit that has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them, but it might reinforce the fears you're already experiencing about your ability to achieve, your ability to succeed, and your ability to receive. And I feel the universe is really saying, do not listen to that. And if it becomes something that really affects you, pay attention to what within you is hurt by it. You know, so for example, if bitter Brenda says some shit that really hurts you, if bitter Brenda is like, I didn't think it was that great, then, and that hurts you, okay, look within. Maybe is it a lack of self-worth, a feeling of perfectionism, like you're never good enough, or something like that. Try to pinpoint why something might bother you and why something might get under your skin. I mean, it's okay to be sensitive in general. I'm a super sensitive girly myself, but usually things won't really smart unless there is a wound connected to a wound vulnerable to that sort of verbal attack. There's just maybe some immaturity around you, and maybe some thought patterns that just stem from that you've had for quite a while that are hard to break, where it just seems like whatever success you've had, however love is in your life already, there could be just a lot of fears about it leaving, about you not truly being good enough for it, about you questioning whether it's really real or it's really true. But the way you know it's real and true is that you feel it, you experience it. Like, there is something to feeling where some things are just like completely undeniable. You just feel them so strongly and you experience them so profoundly that even if you overthink it, even if you question yourself, the feeling is powerful enough to remind you that that's just your fears, that's just your ego, that's just, you know, whatever is going on within you that feels like you're undeserving, or is worried that you will lose what you have, or you will never be able to receive what you're desiring. The fact that we have the heart chakra here, I think, is really powerful, because I think that if you are trying to bring in romantic love right now, one of the things that I'm hearing is that you can start that by just, number one, treating yourself like Aphrodite or Freya would, you know? Be very loving and generous with yourself, and treat yourself the way you would if a long-term partner lived with you, you know? Would you embrace sensuality? All of you are being encouraged to embrace sensuality. Like, you know, wearing fabrics that make you feel good, wearing outfits that make you feel sexy, or just make you feel good if sexy is not a word that you feel fits for you. Eat food that, you know, that you love. Wear scents that you really enjoy. Like, I'm not telling you to embrace hedonism, but embrace the material side of romance, in the sense of like, romance yourself. Almost start to show yourself and the universe how you want to be treated by a partner, and start to create habits and routines that you would be comfortable having a long-term partner witness. That would be a helpful way to bring in the love that you're desiring. And also, you're going to do that no matter what. And if you are in a loving relationship with someone already, no, I said loving relationship, I do think that you deserve to feel really good about that. Ooh, for some of you, you could be in a loving relationship, and there's some bitter Brendas out there that wish they had that for themselves. So they might be saying stuff like, well, I hope that you can, I hope they stay interested they might talk about like cheating in front of you or something like that just to make you feel insecure, or just come up with stories to say things that aren't true and create insecurity and doubt in your relationship and your partner. And you just don't even need to hold on to that. It's not relevant. It's not true. And I feel like the biggest message here is that not only is everything going to be okay, but you just need to keep going, because there will be challenges, there will be uncertainties, there will be doubts, but it's your powerful heart that will be, you know, a wonderful resource to lean on and help you continue to move forward, even when you're uncertain, even when you're afraid, even when you can't see what's up ahead. But there's a lot of love around you that if you're not already aware of, you're really being encouraged to recognize. Like, you know, if you have pets, if you have wonderful friends, if you have a partner, if you have, you know, if there's what's within you, like what you create, you know, do you make food with love? Do you make art with love? Do you make love with love? You know, love is everywhere and all around you. And the only thing getting in the way of you just embracing it even more is certain thought patterns and certain comments that are not related to you, and thought patterns that are just distracting you from the truth. This is a real call to not give in to fear of loss, or fear of unworthiness, or fear of never receiving something you truly desire, because you already are. In fact, if you're trying to bring in love or bring in some sort of creation coming from love, act as if it's already here. Trust that the energy of it is already here. You're just waiting for Earth to catch up, right? But you are shining. And actually, for some of you, there might be someone that reaches out to you. The Page of Swords does talk about communication. There might be someone that reaches out to you because of a success that you have. Like, maybe you post a success online, or just share yourself with the world, or receive public recognition that inspires someone to reach out to you. That could be a really wonderful connection in your life. But a big message here is whenever everything seems like it's too much, it's too overwhelming, it's never going to work out, it's gonna go to shit, it'll never happen, just tune into your heart and just feel the love that already exists within you. And that's the thing. Don't think about it. Don't observe it. Feel it. And if you're having a hard time feeling it, then you can use your mind to reminisce about times where you felt loved. Come up with ideas to do things that make you feel loved. Reach out to people that you love and know love you. Spend time with creatures or doing things that just bring about love. Use your mind to assist you. And also, use that intelligent brain to observe how you can cultivate more love in your life. Like, there's a lot of learning to come from using your mind in ways to support the love that's in your life and the love that's coming into your life, and learning how to surrender the need to know, surrendering the fears that surface, not holding on to them, not ruminating over them, and learning how to redirect to your heart and just observe how profoundly that can shift your energy, it can shift your emotions, and it can shift your ability to just believe in yourself and believe in what's to come. There's also a message here about leadership. You might be called into leadership, and I guess truthfully, we all are leaders in our own way, right? Whether you're being called into a created leadership position, or if you are just being called to step up more into your independence and lead in your own life, you're being called to lead from love. You know, I remember back when I worked retail in college, there used to be a sign in the manager's office that talked about the difference between being a leader and being a boss. And it was really ironic because every single person in there, well, maybe not everyone, maybe that's not fair. Most of them, I don't know if they read that sign. But, you know, being a leader and being a boss are two different things. And as a leader, I feel like you have a lot of wonderful qualities that you don't give yourself enough credit for. And one way that love is trying to reach you is I feel like you're trying, the universe is trying to inspire you to lead with love in all ways. So for example, I didn't even realize that the senses thing was here. Take time today to engage your senses and create. So for example, let's say you're talking to someone that you are having feelings for, and maybe they haven't been very responsive for a day or so, and you're starting to get freaked out, and you're starting to be like, oh, well, what if they don't like me? What if something's going on? What if I'm boring? But you just found this meme that you know they would love, or you just had this thing that you wanted to tell them. If your heart is like, yeah, let's do it, and your mind's like, no, we don't want to look stupid, listen to your heart in that case. I feel like there's a lot of circumstances you're going to be experiencing where things just turn out better than you anticipated them to, and you almost don't know how to respond to that. But also, I feel like all this loving energy that's being allowed to be expressed through you and that's coming towards you, you may not know what to do with it. And I feel like you're really being encouraged to just tune into it and see where it leads you. Like, let's say, for example, you have a very regimented schedule and your heart is telling you one day, you know what, let's just go take ourselves to dinner, or let's go on a hike or something. Like, listen to those spontaneous urges of your heart, and listen to the needs of your body, and also the desires that surface in the upcoming months. This is timeless, so whenever you watch this is when it's meant for you. But there's a real need for you to believe in yourself and recognize that, like, even if there are bumps in the road, even if something doesn't work out how you anticipated, it's just leading you closer to the authentic love that is around you always, and that is coming towards you in new ways, in surprising ways, in beautiful ways. And sometimes it's hard to see love when we're struggling or when we're fearful, but the beautiful thing is that it's always there, and we can always open up to it. And I think one thing that you need to know is that you're doing amazing, sweetie. You're doing great. And it is really scary to lead from your heart and to step into the unknown and share your feelings. The Six of Wands even talks about sharing feelings and that being successful. And I will say this, when it comes to sharing feelings successfully, it does talk about like those being received well, but this is a general reading, so let's just say on the off chance you share your feelings to someone and they don't feel the same way. The worst thing that happens is you feel a sense of rejection or embarrassment or whatever, but feelings leave. And not only that, but you face the worst and realize that now you can move towards those that will reciprocate, those that will match that. You're just being encouraged to keep going. And if you're drawn to pile 1, there's kind of some similar messages in pile 1. But I feel like for you, this is just a lot about not needing to know where the path is headed and trying to anticipate bridges that you haven't even crossed or seen yet. And instead just looking at your life today in this present moment and say, what is love asking of me right now? Have I felt enough love today? Have I given myself enough love? Have I shared love? Pay attention to all of that. And also just pay attention to your thought patterns right now, because I think that they could be cock blocking your heart space, love blocking, I don't know. And just causing you to overthink. I think that it takes time to train your mind, and it takes discipline to train your mind to learn to be trusting in the unknown and not feel like it has to be figuring things out, or help it realize it doesn't have to strategize things or has to know everything, and it certainly doesn't have to ruminate. But whatever you are facing right now, you're gonna move through it with tons of grace. And in fact, you're gonna find that love is coming into your life in ways that you never anticipated. It is being supported, held, and replenished on a daily basis. And in fact, I think people are going to be showing up for you in ways that really show you that they love you, in ways that you never ask, and that just remind you that you are loved and you deserve the same love that you give to others. And I also think that this will be a beautiful opportunity for you to learn how to receive that love. And also, if you are someone who has, like, who is in the public, who is a leader in some way, there are a lot of people that love you, and you might be really focused on your flaws and criticizing yourself, and the few statements or comments here and there that make you feel like you're not good enough, or that point out your flaws, or that try to bring you down. And you might be really focused on those and feeling like, you know, you're not good enough, and missing out on all the love that's around you, all the people that do appreciate you, and recognizing that and it may be time to recognize where you're giving that too much power over yourself. But there's a lot of wisdom in terms of what you're going to gain a lot of wisdom from this current cycle in your life. And it really is like all about just embracing love, the love that already exists, the love that others have for you, the love in your actions, the love for yourself, and the many ways that love can be expressed. And if you are someone who has had to do a lot of healing around love, or who has experienced toxic forms of love, or, you know, things that were called love but weren't really love, it might feel really weird and uncomfortable and scary to embrace true love in all its forms. But I think that you'll realize, oh wow, this is so much better than I thought it was. I'm getting a visual from the movie Matilda, which was originally a Roald Dahl book. But at one point, Matilda's friend is hanging on the ceiling by a pipe, and she's really afraid she's gonna fall, and Matilda tells her to let go, and she uses her Matilda powers to gently bring her down to the ground. And I kind of feel like that is something that you are experiencing, or will be experiencing, where the universe wants you to know it's okay to let go. You don't have to hold on. You're not going to fall. You're going to be gently carried to the next part of your journey. And that's the thing too, let go of the idea of a destination. This is about falling in love with your own human journey, accepting the fact that nothing is ever perfect. But it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be good. It just needs to be fulfilling. It needs to be uplifting. And if it's those things, then good enough, right? I'm hearing the Cyndi Lauper song. It's from the Goonies. The Goonies are good enough. But anyway, everything's gonna be okay. Don't worry. Be happy. I think another song for you would be "Three Little Birds" by Bob Marley. And what does he say? One love, you know? I think one way you could cultivate loving energy, if you're having trouble doing it yourself, is listening to music like that, listening to lyrics about love. And I would say maybe, like, okay, if you're trying to cultivate romantic love, romantic love songs, but I feel like more specifically just songs about love and nature, like Country Roads. Is that John Denver? I think John Denver in general, I mean, I might be embarrassing myself right now, but I'm really bad at names. I apologize. But like any songs that just inspire love for the universe, that just make you feel loving energy, make you feel calm, all of that will be good. So I'm going to go ahead and get into your tarot now. And I think we're going to start by looking at how we're going to center around this love topic. And I want to start by looking at where love already exists in your life that you may be overlooking it. So, Spirit, where does love already exist in Pile 2's life that they may not be currently seeing right now? We have the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so this could definitely very well be about work. I feel like you could be really loved at your job, or really loved by a solid group of friends, or maybe you love your job, or you have a job where just people love you very much. I think that you're being called to recognize the value that you bring to whatever your position is, or, you know, if you're in school, your peers, your professors, they love you. I feel like you're such a valuable addition to whatever team you're on. And I feel like you do an excellent job of not only being a great team member, a great friend, a great support system, but also you're great at leading too. And you make people feel comfortable. You make people feel secure in themselves. And I don't know if you get this very often, but you do have the ability to make people feel like they can be themselves around you, which like, it just literally makes me want to cry, because I love that. Like, I love that you do that. And you don't even understand how precious and profound of a gift that is. To be able to cultivate an environment where people can be themselves, like, that is love. And you may not do it consciously, but it's just the vibes that you bring. I also think with this Three of Pentacles here, there could be love in terms of any groups that you've joined, you could be a really valuable part of. This Three of Pentacles is definitely speaking to me about work as well. Like, your boss might absolutely love you. Like, maybe you're really good at what you do. Maybe you're a valuable addition to the team. Maybe you inspire other people at your job. No matter what it is, there seems to be love in your work environment or in groups that involve teamwork or collaboration. People that you've collaborated with, I feel like, say really wonderful things about you. But I definitely think that you might miss out on how well you're received by others in a group, just because you might be so focused on not doing something wrong, or being in your head, or being like, oh, I don't want to say something stupid, or oh, you know what I mean? So I'll challenge you the next time you are in that space, when you catch yourself getting into those fears, starting to feel worried or insecure or unsure of yourself, instead, stop and just observe how people receive you. Observe how people look at you. Just observe and pay attention. And even be willing to ask, like, hey, you could say, hey, you know, how can I improve? Or you could start something by telling someone else in your group, hey, I love how you do this thing, or I really admire you for this thing. Oftentimes that inspires someone else to do the same. But even if they don't reciprocate, which I guess you shouldn't do it with the intention purely of reciprocating, you're creating more love to that space by just making other people feel loved and appreciated. But I want to see now how you can cultivate more love in your life right now. So how can pile 2 cultivate more love in their life right now and moving forward? Okay. Ooh, this is badass. Okay, so we have the Magician and the High Priestess. If you do any sort of ritual work, if you have any sort of system of prayer, manifestation, divine communion, one way to create more love in your life is to lean into your spiritual connection and whatever that is for you. I mean, the Magician and the High Priestess are spiritual counterparts. So let's say, for example, you don't have to believe in divine counterparts, but it's quite possible that you could have one already in your life or that you haven't met yet. Tuning into that, as long as it doesn't create obsessive energy or yearning energy that depletes you or is harmful to you, leaning into the love that you may not have met yet but you know is out there could help you. But also, you know, like, let's say, for example, you have someone that you love very much and they're at a distance from you, or you're not able to connect with them as much as you would like. Connecting to your higher self and their higher self and the connection that you have. And higher self is just like their true spirit. The spirit self, the aspect of ourselves that has perception beyond our human senses, that's connected to the ethereal worlds, that isn't clouded by by a brain or a physical body or anything like that. Other ways that you can cultivate it are through tuning into your intuition, divination, really anything that is spiritual, esoteric. So you can watch my videos if you want. Well, if you want to get esoteric about it. But I say ASO because, like, because that sounds better. But, you know, it's pronounced esoteric. But I don't. This is the damn English language, okay? We do fuck all with vowels, so I'm ASO, even though it's a pun on esoteric. Anyway, I need to stop swearing. I definitely think whatever ways in which you are trying to create more love into your life, you have the ability to manifest it. And with the High Priestess here, tuning into your intuition and how it's guiding you, divination, could also be really helpful. But I actually want to read both of these cards from the book and see if the book has just any valuable insights for you, or has problem is I don't know where I put it, so I gotta find it. But both of those together, like, that is spirituality at work. Oh my god, it was literally right in front of my face underneath the Sacred Destiny Oracle. And that's the thing too. Okay, so also they're like love there. I mean, I'm telling you, if you can't see it, just because you like, love is already around you, you just may not be able to see it yet. But we have alchemy. When I'm in alignment with Spirit's will, miracles are possible. When I see this card, I'm reminded that my will and skill alone will yield limited results. When I remember my partnership with Spirit, all is well. I am required to explore my commitment to this co-creative alchemical relationship and see the results manifest beautifully. Through me, Spirit works magic. So yeah, co-creating with Spirit, giving yourself the opportunity to receive the love of the universe, the love of whatever you believe in. And also, some things are not meant to be known intellectually, but are meant to be experienced through intuition. This card reminds me to trust that I have access to higher wisdom and knowing when I tune in and trust my vibes. This is the time when mysteries will be revealed and I can grow as a result. So by tuning into your own intuition, tuning into those mysteries, and allowing yourself to honor those and trust those, you're going to love yourself so much when you act on those and then realize, like, you were right, you were correct. But definitely anything spiritual, anything in the unseen, anything that brings you closer to the universe and closer to yourself, anything that helps you feel empowered in terms of creation, those are all great ways to cultivate love. But now I want to see, how is love coming into your life? How is love coming into pile 2's life, Spirit? 2 cards again. Wow, okay, so for some of you, an air sign person could be coming in, like a literal romantic relationship. The Tower, I know a lot of people are afraid of the Tower, but for some of you also, if you are in a situationship with someone, or in a relationship with someone where you don't feel loved, or you don't feel good, where they don't listen to your needs, they don't care about how you need to be loved, it seems like whatever you do is not enough, or they don't really seem to show up, they're emotionally unavailable, they wear masks, I definitely think that love could be taking them out of your life or inspiring you to end things. Obviously, I'm not telling you what to do, but if you know that something is not working and someone's not loving you the way you deserve, you're drained, you feel insecure, you feel bad about yourself after being with them, then love could be coming into your life in a way where it's getting those energies and those people out of the way so that you can bring in true, genuine love. Love could be coming into your life in a way where someone who is an air sign, who is emotionally available and healthy, but they don't have to be an air sign. The air signs are Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. They could have those placements, or they could just be a very intellectual, mercurial, intelligent, I think I said intelligent person. They could be very communicative, very wise, very rational. They could really enjoy mental pursuits. Someone like that could come into your life and be that. But also, another interpretation of this is a shift in how you view the world, getting out of a purely logical place, or getting out of your head in ways where you miss out on what your heart is trying to show you. not in a way where you abandon logic completely, but in a way where love profoundly shifts how your understanding of love, your ability to cultivate it, your ability to share it, your ability to receive it, your ability to put yourself out there, your ability to recognize it. There could be a profound shift in how you see things. And I think this tower is really powerful because it's not falling. I feel like if anything, all the inner work you've already done, all the healing you've already done will be a powerful support system in breaking down any unhelpful thought patterns or mental blockages that you have when it comes to giving and receiving love and bringing love into your life. But also, I think that love could be bringing you a lot of wisdom, and it may not be an air sign if you're trying to bring about a romantic relationship, it may not be an air sign person that is the one, but there could be an air sign person that's an intermediary that helps you meet this other person. But also, I think that this could also represent love coming into your life in a way where maybe you and another person maybe you have feelings for someone, you wonder if they have feelings for you. I've got plenty of feelings videos if you want to check those out. And it's like you guys keep things in the friend zone. Something might be coming out, like you might be inspired to take things out of the friend zone, or they might be inspired to do that, to break the ice and really start opening up emotional expression. But I think especially love is coming into your life in ways where you're going to feel more free to express love and share your love, and in return, you're going to be receiving more love from the world around you. And realizing just the power and trusting the greater universe, and in embracing the mysteries that love has for you, and realizing that love can surprise you in the most profound of ways, and that you're never truly disconnected from anyone or anything. You are love. Love is everywhere, and you deserve to be loved in the way that you love others. I love that. Don't take a shot every time I do love. Every time I do love, every time I say love, you will not be around to love much longer. Okay, so now we're gonna do some book divination and just get a little message from this book and see what it wants you to know. So I'm gonna close my eyes and just flip through the pages and ask, Spirit, what self-care message do you have for pile 2? How can they love themselves a little bit more? Have you ever sat quietly and observed a garden before? The longer you look, the more life you start to see. Tiny, intricate worlds begin to reveal themselves. And suddenly, gardens feel so much more alive than they did before. And this little guy's like, oh wow, I didn't realize anyone lived here. Hello. So I feel like this is reaffirming the fact that observation could be a really powerful tool for seeing love. Maybe if you have a garden, or thinking about like getting plants or creating a garden or doing something like that, that could be a way to explore love. But also, this really does come down to observation and looking at the small things in life and just recognizing like how much life and love is around you. But I think also quiet time where you're able to just sit and feel and perceive could be very powerful as well. And the challenge is learning to sit, feel, and perceive without your mind racing, without you needing distraction, and learning to quiet your mind enough to allow that to happen. And that's a process of redirection, discipline. It's hard at first, but it is a skill that you can build, and it can get easier. I'm being called to tell you about one tool that I use to clear my mind. And you don't have to do this in the way that I do it, but if I can't get my thoughts to be cleared, I visualize my thoughts as donuts, and I picture Homer Simpson eating my donut thoughts. And if you've ever seen, I can't remember what Treehouse of Horror it is, Satan himself could not conjure up enough donuts to make Homer full. So I picture my thought donuts and Homer eating them. And whenever a thought comes up, I turn it into a donut and I let Homer eat it. And It sounds silly, but it actually freaking works and is really useful. And it's a fun way to kind of clear my mind. So you don't have to do it that way. You could make your thoughts cookies and it be Cookie Monster. You could picture a real housewife and turn your thoughts into wine. You could really, the opportunities are endless and you can create your own. But yeah, just turn your thoughts into something and then have an idea of who or what would want to consume that or take that and give it to them. But we're going to go ahead and finish this reading off with some guidance from MEGADECK. And the links that I'm using, the cards that I'm using for this MEGADECK will be in the description below. Oh, wise and powerful MEGADECK, what guidance do you have for my pile 2 peeps moving forward? What guidance do you want to leave them with? Hydrate and meditate. So I don't know if this is the group where I was like, you don't actually need to meditate, you just need to be present. But one way to show yourself love is to make sure you're drinking enough water. And meditation, it doesn't have to be like sitting in meditation. You could go for a walk, you could do something like draw or clean or something that just kind of like gets your mind into a more rested state. But I do think that those could be powerful tools to just recognize the love already in your life. And who knows, maybe you'll start hydrating more, really have to pee, and then run into someone in the bathroom on your way to the bathroom and have a meet cute, and love finds you that way. You never know, life is crazy. You could do like fancy fruit water or cucumber water or some shit. Make water something that you love. What else, Spirit? A few weeks from now. Wow, okay, so love is coming to you in a specific way a few weeks from now. Something significant is happening a few weeks from now, so pay attention to that. What else, Spirit? Take action now. So I definitely think that there are ways that you can show yourself love now that you might not be taking advantage of. So especially if you are desiring something that can't be here right now, one way to help bring that closer to you and also ease the tension or desire around that is to focus on what action you can take right now. But is there anything else? We have no expectations and it's in you. Oh my gosh, this is so you. Just this badass lion with all these green crystals. This reminds me of like the Cowardly Lion and like Emerald City and the Wizard of Oz. But the Cowardly Lion, he always had courage, and you have courage too. Yeah, wow, powerful cats seem to be a theme for you. So Spirit's really saying have no expectations about how this love comes to you. Just be a part of the journey, and also just recognize the more you tune into the love within you, the more you realize it's there, the more you'll see it outside of yourself, and the more you'll attract the types of love, and the more you'll cultivate the love for others that you wish to receive and that you wish to give. And endless love is what is in your future and what is within you. And the more you see it, the more you see it in you, the more you'll see it everywhere. The more you share it, the more you'll get back. And the more you trust in it, the less scary that process will be. So pile 2, that's where I'm going to leave this reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background, because that is one of the simplest and easiest ways to support me and show appreciation for my channel. You don't have to watch them. I'm not a monster. I don't expect you to do that. But if you'd like to support me in other ways, you can like this video, comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already. You can click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can check out my merch. You can check out my social media. You can check out my candles. If you're watching this before December 9th, you can use code ASO25 for 25% off. But if it's after that, you can use code ASO10 for 10% off. You can check out my other videos, especially ones with extendeds, especially if you are curious about a certain person. But that is all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you are watching this video. And I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the red bear, hello, and the red butterfly card, this is going to be your reading on the message that was meant to find you at this time. So we're going to start by looking at the truth this little guy is bearing to you, the truth that you're ready to bear. And that is, I am deserving of respect, love, and happiness. I give respect, love, and happiness too. So if that hits in a way where you're like, I needed to hear that, or if you're like, I'm unsure, let's lay out all the other cards and see what else wants to come out here. So we have the Star, we have the Ace of Wands, we have the theme of divination. The trigger statement is, I am so drained, and the true statement is, I am shielded. You are finding balance as you see what resonates and what does not. With clear sight, you are safe and protected. We also have the Five of Pentacles, and we have truth. Wow, okay. Make sure this is all in the frame. Okay, yeah, I just need to push these up a little bit. Wow, okay, I wanted to call you Pile 5, which we do not have a Pile 5. We very rarely have a Pile 5. But 5 does seem to be a significant number. 5 is a number of change. It is a number of upheaval. It is a number of alchemy. And it seems like whatever position you are in right now, you're under a lot of pressure and a lot of stress and a lot of tension. And some of that is self-created, but a lot of it is from understandable aspects of your environment. It could be career, it could be financial struggles, it could be struggles related to the state of the world at this time. And this is timeless, so whenever you watch it, I assume there's going to be more fuckery in the future, so, you know, whatever the state of the world is at the time you're watching this. And I feel like there's just you know you deserve better. And there's a real breaking point that you're reaching that I actually am kind of hoping this reading will help you with, where you take a step back, give yourself a little grace, and also look at what you can actually blame on others. You know, everybody always says, like, it is important to take responsibility for what is within our control. But there are things that are the faults of others and the faults of things that are beyond our control that can very well be the source of suffering or lack or depression or loss. One thing that I'm really seeing here is that you are clearly exhausted, and life probably feels very challenging right now, more challenging than you want it to be. And I feel like you know something has got to give, but I think there's a lot of fear and a lot of uncertainty, and also maybe even logistical, material, or financial challenges in making those changes happen. For some of you, if you are in a relationship with someone that you know you're disrespected, you're not treated right, or if you're in a job, there's a lot here around career where your time energy is disrespected, you're not treated well by your boss or your employees, or which I guess if you have control over employees, you know, maybe setting some ground rules there, or maybe changing the staff, if you know what I mean. It just seems like you are depleted, and some of these things don't need to be there. With the Star card being here, for some of you, you could be in a position where you are like in the public eye, like you're famous, or you have public recognition, or like locally you're well known. And that could be a source of stress for you, where you feel like you always have to put your best foot forward. But honestly, you don't even need to be in that position to feel like you have to put your best foot forward and also feel like all eyes are on you. You may feel like you always have to be your best self, or like you can only show up or you only shine when you're at your best, when you're at your most excited. But also, you may be really, the star, this star card is not the same as like the tarot star card. There are similar themes, but this is more literal. This is an oracle deck, not a tarot deck, this one. Where it's, in some way, you're the center of attention. You're receiving attention, you're receiving praise. You are either being celebrated, or you are, people admire you, they look up to you, they view you as successful, or view you as untouchable, or as, or you may just be getting a lot of people in your energy, your energy could be highly magnetic, or could be drawing a lot of people to you, or you could be drawing a lot of people to you because of the position you're in, the things you've gained, the success you have. And you might have a lot of people around you that are draining you, or you might be really caught up in public perception of you, and that is something that's draining you, and also maybe making you feel like whatever struggles you're actually going through in your life, you're not allowed to have because other people have it worse. And I feel like, first of all, that is something that you need to take a step back from, because that is very dehumanizing to yourself. But also, for all of you here, there is a feeling of like you're under scrutiny, or all eyes are on you, whether you want them to be or not. And it seems like you have to really hide or pretend like you're good, or that everything is fine, when in reality you're not fine. The fact that we have, I'm deserving of respect, love, and happiness, and I give those things too. I feel like this is a real call to look at where in your life you are not receiving respect, love, and happiness, where you're not giving it to yourself, and how cultivating more of it for others could help you recognize where it truly is, so that you don't allow yourself to be drained by people that don't actually give that to you. I do feel like there could be very real financial or material challenges that you're going through right now, or if you're doing fine financially, there's a very real fear of loss, a very real fear of losing what you've gained, and that could be draining you quite severely, especially if you have a creative career, or a career where your paycheck isn't consistent. I definitely think with this Ace of Wands card, this is a call to action, in the sense that if you are experiencing like creative burnout, or lacking inspiration, lacking motivation, lacking energy or momentum to do the things you know you should be doing, or to create new things, to initiate new things, to make things happen, because you do have the ability to make things happen, and quite quickly. That's whatever success you've already cultivated in your life has come from divine inspiration, and you may not recognize it as it being divine, and that's okay, but you're divine, even if the inspiration just simply came from you. You have the ability to bring ideas into the world quite quickly and receive abundance, or just get things in return for what you bring into the world quite quickly. But the challenge with that is inspiration and momentum aren't always freely available to us. And it seems like there are aspects of your life right now that are blocking the ability for inspiration, or just the energy to create in general, from coming into your life. And either pulling you into a cycle of lack. It could be pulling you into a cycle of stress, dysfunction, of loss. And I feel like this message came to find you because there's a truth that you need to face around who or what is draining you, and to be honest with that so that you can do things differently. For a lot of you, I do feel like this is career related. Like you're in a position where you're really drained by it. You're not being given what you need. Maybe you are in a career where you're really being exploited, or you're being promised things that are never followed through on. You know, if your workspace doesn't give you respect, love, and happiness, listen, I know that love is not necessarily meant to be in the workspace, but if employers can say shit like we're a family, you can at the very least expect basic human decency and compassion. I think that's the basic human decency and respect for your humanity. I think those are the work versions of love. And you have to love yourself enough to demand those. But I also completely understand that that life is a lot more challenging than just manifest something different. Just quit your job and get a van. Like, I mean, you could do that, and maybe that's the answer. But in terms of what the answer is, in terms of either getting yourself out of a difficult situation or getting yourself in a position where you're no longer under so much stress or hardship, you know, that's different for everyone. And your journey through that will be different. And I don't feel like I'm qualified to tell you how to do that, because truthfully, how you're meant to do that is unique to all of you. But also it's something that is different for all of you. The fact that we have this truth card here, part of the reason why you are so drained is because you are denying truths that are happening within you, and you are suppressing speaking that truth to others. I keep getting this example of you quitting your job and then inspiring a bunch of other people to in your job to do the same, because all of you are like fed up. That could be something. And of course, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I don't know your situation and I don't know what you need. But if that's something you've been considering, if you know that you can do that and still be able to care for yourself and support yourself, or maybe even you don't know how, but you just know if you do it, it'll be okay and you'll figure it out anyway. I mean, the wind will carry you, my dude. But I think there's a core theme here where there are either people, environments, circumstances, behaviors that are draining you because they're not respecting you, they're not supporting you. And I think that you've either forgotten or never realized that you have more power to change that. For example, if let's say you're in a job that you absolutely hate, but you need it right now, you don't have anything else lined up, and for the foreseeable future, while you have to tough it out until you figure something else out. One of the best things that you could do for yourself is look up energy protection, and also become more disciplined about how you are caring for yourself in your free time. Look up techniques like breath work. Grounding and protecting your energy, I think, actually is essential if you are stuck in environments where you have to be around people or deal with things that drain your energy. I would Google grounding / energy protection techniques, practice and work on what will be best for you. But also, I think you're really being encouraged in those environments to speak up more often and be honest with others, even if they won't like what you have to say. You can be honest and still be tactful. And I feel like there's also maybe just truths that you've known for a while, but just haven't really admitted to yourself. Like, I'm not happy where I am, or I'm really afraid I won't be able to get out of this. I'm really afraid I'll be stuck here forever. I'm really afraid that that I will lose everything, or that I'll never be good enough, that I'll never be inspired again, that things will never change, that I'll never have a new opportunity. And none of that is true. Maybe temporarily, well, but never isn't temporarily. So it isn't true. There are opportunities that are going to be coming your way, and you will have more inspiration as you start making changes. But also with this Five of Pentacles here, when you're in that energy, it really does feel like it will never end and that you will be stuck in it forever. And there is just one reality, that time moves slower when you're miserable or you're having a hard time or things are just not great. And so one thing that you could do one thing you could do to dissipate how challenging this is for right now is to just start admitting to yourself that this is not going to work and that things need to change. Start speaking into the universe like, I need inspiration to make things change. Show me what needs to change. Show me what I need to do. Show me how I need to clear things out. Inspiration will come back. Motivation will come back. Energy will come back. But right now, you might really just be in the thick of it in terms of struggling, being exhausted, feeling depleted, feeling disrespected, feeling unworthy, feeling like whatever you do, it's not good enough, or whatever you do, you might lose it. And also you might just feel like as well, you might feel even extra pressure from that because you're under scrutiny or other people are watching you. Or like, for example, this star card, like if you live in a small town, everybody's in everybody's business. Like, and so you may just be like, I don't want people to know that I did that. I don't want people to look at me differently. Which first of all, you can't control that, and fuck them. If they judge you, it's just because they're insecure with their own lives. But with this solar plexus chakra, you know, if you, that could be a chakra that you work with that could be supportive for you. But also, if you have experienced a loss already, that has really been hard for you, I do think there's some liberating truths that when you explore this loss will help you realize like it was actually a blessing in disguise, because whatever you did lose or whatever fell away, it was not serving you. It was contributing to your misery, and it seems like the universe got it out of your way sooner rather than later. But I feel like the biggest thing you need to know is that where you're at now is temporary, and in fact, inspiration is coming to you sooner than you realize. The best thing you can do for yourself in the meantime is do what you can to protect your energy. Make sure that you don't allow it to be drained by others, and just support yourself until this shift can happen. Also, one reason you might be drained as well is, like, let's say, for example, you have people around you that you really care about and really love, but you're afraid if you're your true self, you'll lose them. Well, if you're your true self and they don't want to stick around, then that's a sign that they shouldn't have been around in the first place. Like, they're not true friends. They're not true people in your life. Because the people that truly love and care about you and want to be in your life, they will want you to be your true self, not a facade that makes them comfortable. They'll be comfortable around the true you. And so if there are circumstances or situations where you really have to be a false self, or maybe you're perpetuating a false self that makes you miserable, but you're just afraid to let go of it because what will happen if you do, I think you'll find that you won't take the responses to it as personally. You'll find that a lot of people respond to it more positively than you anticipated. And in fact, you immediately start to get your energy back. Like, it will feel so good for you to just be honest. Also, I think that the best word for you moving forward is no. Just don't be afraid to say no. I can't. Don't even apologize. No is a complete sentence. I feel like there are people that definitely take advantage of your kindness or your willingness to give to others, your willingness to be a team player, to put your best foot forward and actually try. And I feel like you're really just being encouraged to say no. And also recognize that if the environment that you're in can't change, then you may need to change your environment and start planting the seeds of how you're going to do that in the way that works for you. Spirit might come through with powerful inspiration, but one thing I will say is one of the most potent sources of change that you have right now is recognizing your truths consciously and speaking them out into the world, speaking them to others. Your voice has a lot of power, and your voice could lead you to opportunities that you don't recognize yet. You have a profound way with words I don't think you quite recognize, and maybe you do, but you're just afraid to truly share them. And I feel like you're really being encouraged to stand up for yourself, and as hard as that is, and put your foot down when it comes to what you can change and what you know is already contributing to the lack of energy, the misery, the lack of motivation that you're already experiencing. If you haven't reached a breaking point, you're gonna reach it soon. But this video could serve as it right now, where you just tell yourself something has to change, and I don't know what, but I'm gonna get started and I'm gonna pay attention, and I'm going to be more disciplined with self-care in the meantime. Because that's the biggest thing, is like, you may not be able to change your circumstances immediately. It may take time, but you can find tools to support yourself as you make this process of transition, and make this a little bit easier. But also, if there are people in your life that, not if, there are people in your life that do love and care about you genuinely, and they may have no idea that you're struggling as much as you are. And if you were just honest with them, I feel like that would be immediate reprieve. And that would actually be something where, like, you realize, oh, you know, maybe I've been carrying all of this by myself. I feel like you're really being encouraged to open up to people that you feel you can trust, and share what's actually going on with you, and allow yourself to be supported. I feel like you carry everything on your own shoulders, and you're not meant to do that. We're social creatures for a reason. We need each other, and nobody wants you to struggle and suffer. Well, some people will want you to struggle and suffer because they're bitter, miserable fucks. But that is not your problem. The people that are meant to be in your life, that love and care about you, they will not want you to suffer. And they may have no idea that you even are, because you're so good at pretending like everything is okay and that that's the truth. Your power is in being honest with yourself and others. And if there is one thing that, and if you need help in determining what is meant to stay and what needs to go, ask yourself if you feel respected, loved, and happy with it. And if it's a no, well, there you go. So let's go a bit deeper now and look at your tarot. I guess I want to start by seeing if there's anything that Spirit wants to bring you to your attention as a source of something in your life that is draining you, that you may or may not be aware of. So Spirit, what is something in pile 3's life that is draining them, that they may or may not be aware of, please? That is really ironic. Okay, because the Sun is one of the happiest cards in the deck. This could be a Leo person, a Leo person in shadow. But this could also be ego. Could be your own or the egos of others that you are taking personally. But I also think one thing that is draining you is just not being happy, and that's understandable. You could work with children, and that could be a source of draining. Spirit's getting really literal with this and saying, you know what's making you miserable. You know what's draining you. You're just holding on to it out of obligation, guilt, shame, fear. And all those energies are keeping you from finding a solution or being drawn or led to the next place that is actually going to be more aligned with you. I do think one thing that could be draining you as well is you may not be getting enough sleep. Or you may be like just very hyper aware of yourself in ways where you're just not allowing yourself to be human, because you're just so like, oh, I need to put my best foot forward, and I need to pretend like everything's okay. One thing that might be draining you is pretending like you're happy and pretending like everything's fine. So that might be something that you need to do away with. But also, I feel like just a lack of joy is draining you, and continuing to do things that you know don't make you happy, continuing to hold on to situations because you hope that they'll get better, and you hope that like happiness will come from them one day. I feel like there's a sunken cost fallacy here. And also, specifically, maybe you need to move to a warmer climate. Like, maybe a lack of sun is part of it, you know? Maybe moving away from a place where it is wintry and cold, or vice versa. Maybe you're the type of person who needs seasons or would thrive in a cold environment, and being in a continuously hot climate is making you miserable. Interesting. Let's get some guidance for what you can do to start. How can pile 3 start eliminating or removing the sources in their life that are draining them, please? 8 of Cups coming out again. Recognize what isn't emotionally fulfilling you and choosing to walk away. I wish I had better concrete guidance for you, but the 8 of Cups is all about moving forward, walking away, and letting go of what you know won't fulfill you. But the cool thing is that what happens when you're in the 8 of Cups is you're walking straight towards the 9 of Cups, and the 9 of Cups is all about wish fulfillments. So it does require a bit of courage, and it might require some strategy, but there is a need for you to move away from what isn't serving you. So maybe that's literally moving. Maybe that is changing your job. Maybe that is walking away from a relationship, or walking away from a living situation where, you know, you're not happy. Maybe it could be as simple as walking away from habits you know aren't serving you, or paying attention to how much media you're taking in that you know is draining you or making you feel guilty or ashamed of yourself. Whatever is draining you emotionally, that doesn't fulfill you, that doesn't make you feel good, it's time to walk away from. And obviously, like, things like that, you know, good feelings and fulfillment are not constant feelings in our life, but more often than not, but it should be a situation where more often than not you are fulfilled, you are happy, and you're accepting of whatever challenges or shit sandwiches come with the things that do fulfill you. Because there's a huge difference between doing something that is ultimately fulfilling and dealing with the normal human frustrations and challenges and fears and uncertainties that come with it, and being in a situation that you know makes you miserable, that you know you don't belong in, and that you know probably won't change. Don't hold on to something out of obligation or guilt or shame, because that is just going to keep you stuck here and make the process of change last longer and draw it out. So I guess I want to ask now, trying to decide. By doing this, by walking away, what will you be moving towards? So what will pile 3 be moving towards after they make these changes? Strength. Yeah. Can we clarify strength? Clarifying it, we have the 7 of Swords and the Queen of Swords. You're moving towards liberation. And also, you're moving away from self-deception. You're moving away from distorted ideas of what strength is. strength is all about surrender. It's about compassion. It's about moving with your environment. And it's also about bravery. It's about courage. And for you, I really think that moving away from whatever isn't serving you, whatever is draining you, will really give you the strength to cut off anything or anyone that is depleting you. I honestly, I do feel like walking away from this is going to lead to some bad bitchery, and that is gender neutral, where you become a bit more unapologetic when it comes to your needs, when it comes to what you will and won't put up with. You also will see deception a mile away, because I feel like you've already been seeing it, but now in the future, you're going to see it so much more clearly. You're not going to be able to deceive yourself and be stuck in situations that make you unhappy. But also, where you are headed is to places, to people, to experiences, to perspectives that are just more powerful in terms of like your life will feel more potent. Your life will feel good again. You'll feel stronger, you'll feel more powerful, and you will get your energy back. There will be a return to self. You know, I always think about 8 as like an infinity sign turned vertical. And I really think that you'll be in a position to advocate for yourself, not self-sabotage, and have more energy in general to make moves in the direction you want to head in, to make moves that will reap a lot more joy, that will reap a lot more benefits, that will bring a lot more awareness to you. Yeah, and the Ace of Swords, you'll have a lot of clarity. Your voice has power, and I'm telling you, in walking away from whatever this is, from whatever things you need to walk away from, even if it's just a perception shift, you'll find your voice in the process, and you'll be less likely to self-sabotage or betray yourself for the sake of others. I also think anyone who has been draining you that you haven't seen, or anything that has been draining you without realizing it, it will be brought to light, and you will have the wisdom and awareness to cut it off. I also think you're gaining wisdom in general, but the situation that you are in right now, you will never be in again. And I can promise you this because you are learning the lessons from this situation, where even if you are in a situation similar to this, it will never feel as terrible as this. You will have more tools, you will have more resources, and you will be prepared in ways that you weren't in the past. And it won't be nearly as hard, and it won't last as long. You are moving to a place of grace and a place of true empowerment. And that power will not only bring you more energy, more inspiration, more faith in yourself and in the universe, but also it'll be a reminder of the unlimited possibilities that you do have around you. I do want to read the Strength card really quickly and see what it says. Endurance. I can go the distance and know that everything occurs in divine appropriate timing. I have courage as I manifest miracles. When I allow spirit to work through me, I'm strong enough to move mountains and overcome any obstacle inside or out. Yeah, so you're going to move through this, and you're going to come through it with more strength, more wisdom, more awareness, but also you're going to create things that you can't even fathom right now. Like, you're going to move towards situations that bring you so much joy, that make you feel so fulfilled, that are in genuine alignment with you. And you're going to be so grateful you had the courage to say no to what wasn't for you, and to stand up for yourself. I definitely feel like you're moving in a direction where you're in a strong position to advocate for yourself. I feel like whatever experience you already have has made you a strong candidate for whatever you want to create. And also, you don't have to worry about any doors being closed in your face, because you're strong enough to break them down. Like, you don't even need to worry about that. You're headed to a level of sovereignty and interpersonal strength that will allow you to accomplish anything. And even when you're in the midst of the unknown, even when you're terrified, even when you're uncertain, even when you don't know what's next, you'll know that you can handle it, and you'll know that you'll have what you need when you need it, and that everything will come in perfect timing. I know that's kind of an unsatisfying answer because we really want concrete things, but these are concrete things. And I think that there's kind of a message coming through from Spirit that you don't need to hear me tell you that you can do something in order to be able to do it. You already have that within you, and it's a matter of letting go of what you know is not for you, what isn't authentic to you, what drains you. That will be you affirming to yourself that you're capable of going after, of headed in a direction of what you truly want. And also for a lot of you, even if it's not something that you're literally changing, cutting people out of your life that are deceptive, cutting people out of your life that drain you, or at the very least setting boundaries with them. You don't have to cut them out, that's a bit extreme, unless you feel called to, but just quite literally recognizing where your strength is and recognizing where your power is so that you can go about your life in a healthier way. And also trust yourself enough to take risks, to go after what you truly want, and to not take no for an answer in ways that are appropriate. Life is happening for you right now so that you can truly take the wheel and create a life that you want, or just change your circumstances, whether it's in a major way or minute ways, that will remind you that it was never that you were weak. It was just that you're so strong. You held on to situations that were draining the hell out of you, and you had the strength to endure anyway. Imagine when you have those energy, like that energy and those resources towards things that actually do light you up, towards things that do make you happy, that you do have a strong connection to. You'll be unstoppable. And honestly, people won't get to you the same way. Fears won't get to you the same way. You'll have a level of clarity and a level of trust and self-direction that I don't think you've ever experienced before. And even when you reach that point, you won't have everything figured out, but rather you'll just be excited for what the future has to come and relieved that you've moved through this cycle, that you never have to go back there, that you've learned what you've needed to learn to either prevent that or support yourself so that you never hit this point again. And use your power to make your life one that you love, and use your power to make the world a better place too. You have more power than you realize, and it's time to stop being afraid of it. It's time to start trusting yourself and trusting your ability to take things as they come, and to also make decisions that you don't necessarily have to act on, but once you make that decision, to be open to figuring out how to make it happen. You know, just the internal shift of this needs to change, that could be all it takes to start getting inspiration, getting insight, attracting opportunities to get you out of there, get you wherever you truly need to be, and get you into a space where you feel good, you feel supported, and you feel aligned in your life. So we're going to do a little book divination now from this book. We're going to ask about some self-care guidance. So I'm going to close my eyes. Spirit, what self-care guidance do you have for pile 3? What do they need to know? Things to remember. All emotions serve a purpose: sadness, anger, grief, joy, awe, serenity, and so on. Although some emotions are less fun to feel than others, that doesn't mean they are bad. Part of being human is feeling a wide spectrum of emotions throughout your life. They'll all come and go, even if it's hard to believe in the moment. The hard ones won't last forever. And that's really the key of this reading. This hard time that you're in, it will not last forever. And in fact, I know that, like, we shouldn't, it's an idealized perspective to think that we shouldn't suffer and that we shouldn't have to gain wisdom through suffering. Suffering exists on this plane. It just does. So you can either use it to stay ignorant and mope and pity yourself, or you can use it, which you're allowed to do, and that's fine. I'm not shaming that. But there are you can use suffering in productive ways or in empowering ways if you want to, and you are going to be doing that. Your progress is not diminished by your setbacks. And despite how it may seem, there is no perfect formula for life, and everyone around you, for the most part, is figuring it out as they go. And that is your process. That is what you are meant to do. And you don't need to know 12 steps ahead of you. You just need to know where you're putting your foot next. And just keep going. And if you need to take a break, take a break. If you need whatever you need, give it to yourself unapologetically. Because you're going to move through this, you're going to be okay, and you're going to find that your energy comes back to you, and actually you'll have even more energy as you move through this, and you'll have so much more confidence and courage than you did before, because you'll realize, like, wow, I can walk through the valley of the shadow of death and come out a stronger person, a more confident person, and a person who truly believes in myself, or has the strength to try anyway, even if I don't. And to fail over and over and over again, because I know I will succeed. I refuse not to. I will get where I want to go. I refuse not to. I will make it happen no matter what it takes. And you will. You will. So we're going to go ahead and finish off with some guidance cards from MEGADECK. I will have the cards that I used for MEGADECK down below. Miss MEGADECK, what guidance do you have for our lovely pile threes? What do they need to know right now? No expectations. So I think one thing that could be helpful for you, it's really interesting. There have been like some repeating. If you've been drawn to any of the earlier messages, there might be messages for you there. Drawn to any of the other groups, all the readings have been different, but there's kind of similar themes running throughout all of them. But with this no expectations card, I feel like when it comes to moving towards your goals and moving towards a life that makes you happier, don't have expectations about what that looks like. Give the universe the opportunity to be creative and allow yourself to be open-minded about what that might be. You might find that the thing you think brings you joy actually would just be another round of misery. And in fact, the universe leads you to something that is far more enjoyable and joyful that maybe you didn't even know existed until you were open to it and until it was brought to you. Never know. What else, Spirit, what else does pile 3 need to know? Yes, you are going to be successful and happy. And pay attention to what your definition of success is, and cherish the times that you do feel joy. Celebrate your successes, celebrate joy, and celebrate the times that you feel good, because, man, I know what it's like to be in this position. And even when you reach success, there will be times where you do suffer or just feel like shit and you don't even know why. But at least you'll have the past evidence of, I've been through this before, I know I can do it again, and thank God I have these tools to support myself as I move through this. There is joy and success coming to you, and also, but I think the first step is recognizing that you deserve those things and recognizing what success is to you and defining for yourself. And is it a definition that is achievable and that is not like anti-human, in the sense that if you're like, I can only be successful if I have make your definition of success one that is less determined about material things and more determined about how you feel, your level of fulfillment, the quality of your life, and your ability to feel empowered. Those are suggestions. You don't have to take them. You know, success can be literal and it can be material things, but I think even just being in pursuit of that is a success in itself. And recognize the small successes, the small wins, and recognize that you've already successfully come to terms with the fact that things need to change. So be happy about the fact that this doesn't last forever, and you will be moving there, moving towards there, moving there. Maybe there's a move for you. What else? Spirit. Gifted. Trust your gut, guided, protected. This is the second message about protection. So you really need to trust where your gut is leading you, even if you don't have all the answers. You are being guided, and I'm not gonna lie, like, there may be times where in making this change, maybe there isn't certainty. Maybe you have to be strategic about resources or something like that, but you will move through it. You are gifted and meant for more than where you're at right now. And whether that requires a perspective shift, a determination to be elsewhere, just know, like, I feel like I can't even put into words how powerful your gifts are, how powerful your ability is to speak into existence what needs to change and to watch the universe fall in line. But it also requires your ability, your willingness to make those changes that you know are on your end as well. You are headed to greener pastures, and you shouldn't feel guilty about that. Don't hold on to what you know isn't working out of obligation, because you're literally just diminishing your quality of life and diminishing the value. Not literally, you're not realizing the value that you could serve elsewhere. One more, Spirit. What final guidance do you have for pile 3? Yes, destined, meant to be, have faith, believe. And yeah, so just know that this happy success is in your destiny. You have the gifts, and you're already heading in that direction. You just need to trust yourself and, do what you can to support yourself, and don't be afraid. Just head into the unknown and trust that you can handle it as you go. You've got this, and don't be afraid of loss, because whatever you lose in order to get there will be well worth it, and you won't miss it when it's gone. So pile 3, that is where I'm going to leave your reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background. That is one of the simplest and easiest ways to show appreciation and support for my channel, so thank you to everyone who does that. If you'd like to support me in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already. You can click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can check out my merch. You can check out my social media. You can check out my candles. If you're watching this before December 9th, 2024, you can use code ASO25 for 25% off. If not, you can use code ASO10 for 10% off. You can check out my other videos, especially ones with extendeds. But that's all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I hope this resonated. I hope this made sense. And I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video. I believe in you guys, and I love you guys, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, pile 4. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the green bear, hi pile 4, and the green butterfly, this is going to be your reading on the message that was meant to find you. So we're going to start with a truth that this bear is bringing you, that you're ready to bear. And then we will look at the rest of the cards. So starting with this truth that you're ready to bear, it is, I make a positive difference in the world, even with my smile and my words. And I'm like smiling from ear to ear right now just looking at this, because it's true. And I feel like you've definitely been caught up in fears that aren't real around like your ability to succeed, your ability to go for what you really want. And even if you are already in a position where you know you're where you want to be, you may struggle with imposter syndrome, or struggle with feeling like, is what I do enough? Am I effective where I am? Am I enough for what I want? Am I enough for what I have? And the answer is yes to all of that. But it may be really hard to remember that. And it may be really easy to beat yourself up for things unnecessarily and feel like whatever blessings you do have, you don't deserve. And the things that you do desire, maybe you won't reach them. And I feel like one question you need to start asking yourself instead of why me is why not you? Why couldn't you? Why shouldn't you? Of course you can. Like, of course you deserve to be there. Of course you deserve to take up space. And I feel like another thing that you need to know, this is a truth that you really need to let sink in, is that you are not able to consciously perceive how much of a beautiful difference you make in the world. There are so many people that benefit from your presence, from your gentleness, from the way you listen, and from your compassionate nature than you realize. And no matter where you are, where you want to be, those spaces you deserve to be in. And you need to give yourself a little bit more credit. The fact that not only are you capable of getting there or staying there, that in fact you deserve to be there, and you deserve to acknowledge to yourself that you deserve to be there or be here. So let's go ahead and look at what other cards you have. So we also have the Lovers. We have Success. Love to see it. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Third Eye Chakra with the theme of motivation. The trigger statement is, I don't know where to start, and the true statement is, I take action now. You will find clarity in the ability to create now. This is your time to make things happen. We have the Seven of Wands and the Page of Cups. Oh, okay, I love this. Let me make sure they're all in the, yes. So the biggest thing that's coming through, the reason why this message came to find you is to tell you not to give up, and to also, you have no choice but to succeed. It is inevitable. You will simply succeed whether you want to or not. And obviously, success is a subjective definition, and success can be in our life in many different ways. But I feel like specifically this success is related to something really special to you, or someone really special to you. Something that you love that you are thinking about committing to, or someone that you love that you're thinking about committing to. There are obvious love messages here, but for example, maybe you're already in a committed, loving relationship, but you are looking for a new job or creating a job for yourself that you really enjoy, or changing your lifestyle in ways that you love. Wherever your heart has been calling you, or whatever changes you've made to be in alignment with your heart's calling, this is a sign that not only will you be successful, but to keep going and to say what you are choosing is choosing you. With this Lovers card here, you're really encouraged to go all in and commit to whatever is making your heart sing right now, whatever you are putting yourself on the line for, or putting yourself in a vulnerable position for, because you know ultimately it is worth it, and you will find success in whatever endeavor you are focusing on. So like, for example, I just heard for some of you, like grad school, so you could be, one thing I'm hearing is you're being encouraged to apply to grad schools that you don't think you'll get into. You might be surprised. Obviously that can be expensive, so you know, don't break the bank because I told you to, but don't deny yourself out of fear that you'll be rejected. You never know. But in other cases, this could be anything, like, you know, maybe you're really committing to a new way of living, like a new healthier lifestyle, or a new role in your life, or to literally a person. What you are seeking is seeking you, and what you want wants you. And not only are you going to be successful in this endeavor, but you're also going to realize that a lot of the factors that you thought were necessary to make this happen in the first place were never barriers to success to begin with. I think one of the biggest shifts that is coming through here for you that the universe wants to tell you about is to just let go of the resistance that you feel around the fears of what if, the fears of it not happening, the fears of it falling away, and also just the fears of what if I don't know what to do. It's kind of interesting. There have been similar but different messages in all the groups where it seems like good things are coming to everyone in different ways. And there's a lot of resistance to accepting that, and a lot of resistance to feeling like you're deserving of that. And I feel like in your case, I think you've already seen evidence of this success or evidence of positive momentum in whatever you've been moving towards. And it seems like things are headed in a positive direction. But you may just be feeling like, oh, what if I don't keep the same momentum? What if it falls away? Or, what if this doesn't pay off? Or what if the rug gets pulled out from underneath me? And what I'm hearing is that it won't. And even if it did, it would be pulled out from underneath you in a way where it would lead you to even more success, and you'd find out you were still really on the right path. With the Page of Cups being here, you could be getting some powerful communication soon from someone that you care about, or you could be getting news or a response that is favorable towards whatever big endeavors you have going on right now. Like this, whatever has been a core desire or a core focus in your life that you have been working on, that is where success will be. And with the Wheel of Fortune being here, I feel like you're really being encouraged to not let wherever you're at right now be something that, no, I'm not wording this correctly. One second. This Wheel of Fortune is talking about the fact that what you are committing to, there will be highs and lows like there is with anything, but it doesn't matter where you are at in this cycle of your journey, because you will be successful no matter what. Like the kind of idea that I'm getting is you're continuously moving towards your goal. Like let's say you're in a river and the current is moving against you. You're still moving towards your goal. It just might be a little bit harder and you might go a little bit slower, but slowly the current will change and it'll actually carry you. And that's like a push-pull kind of thing, an ebb and flow. And I feel like what you are committing to, it's going to be a part of your life for a while, and it probably has already been a part of your life for some time. And there's this message of encouragement here where you're being called to not let any resistance, any setbacks, any frustrations, or any challenges be a sign that this thing isn't for you or a sign that you are losing it. This Seven of Wands is a call to action to do what is within your control and to release what is not, and be conscious of when you're holding on to what is out of your control, because you're just wasting precious energy that you could be using to continue swimming against the current. I'm thinking of Paramahamsa Yogananda. I think it's him. Really cool guy. Highly recommend Autobiography of a Yogi if you have not read it. But he used to deliberately do things that, based on his astrology, was not favorable or was told it wouldn't work out or he couldn't do. And so he would on purpose do those things during that time. And he talked about, I believe it was him, and he talked about like the fact that it was harder, but he was still able to do it. And I think that there's this message of not believing that collective forces and universal forces are more powerful than your own personal will and what you are moving towards. Your goals, your vision, your intentions, and your focus is a very powerful force that you can use to co-create with the universe, even if it feels like the universe is pushing against you. It can't fully stop you. It can only slow you down. I feel like this Seven of Wands also is just telling you to keep going, keep it up, and don't be afraid of any challenges or resistance that comes up, because it's just going to lead to more confidence in yourself and a greater trust in the fact that you can do anything you set your mind to. And I think that this reading especially is one where you're just being encouraged to keep going and to actually commit even harder and look at where you're holding back in any way and really look at why and see how you can let go of that, because you don't need it. And in fact, I feel like any resistance that you are facing, I feel like you might perceive it being outside of yourself, but I actually think some of your resistance is an internal imposter syndrome type thing, or an uncertainty of how to move forward, or what you should be doing, or what the right thing is to do. There is no right or wrong thing to do, especially with this card here. You just need to keep taking action, and the steps will unfold in time. This is a third eye chakra card, so I definitely think that you underestimate how powerful your intuition is. I'm like getting the example of someone who doesn't even need to. I tell this to one of my wonderful friends. She actually is an astrologer, and if you want to check her out, she is K Moon. She's an amazing astrologer, and I love her, and an amazing person. I remember I was telling her a while back, you don't need to know where to go. That would be like a GPS asking someone else for directions. And I feel like that energy is here, where it's like, you're the GPS, you don't need to be asking for directions. Even though you might consciously feel like, yeah, but I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go. Well, just start moving. You'll be nudged in the right direction. And truthfully, in a joking way, I'm a little jealous, because I'm quite directionally challenged and I could never intuit my way around any place. But this is less about quite literally navigating a place and more about navigating the journey that you're on right now, which you are doing amazing at. I also feel like with this Page of Cups here, there's going to be a level of inner child healing in this process, where dreams of yours that maybe you thought couldn't happen, especially in some harder years of your life, will be coming true, or you will be reconnecting to energies that you embodied as a child that maybe you disconnected from. Like, these could be things like a general whimsy, or a belief in all things being possible, an embrace of your sweet, gentle nature or your sensitive nature, and realizing that part of you actually plays a pivotal role in helping you move forward. And also, I think especially when you do face some challenges or face some resistance, that part of you is going to be very supportive in helping you face those challenges. It's almost like the Gatorade or the water that you need when you're working really hard. Like, imagine running a marathon without water. That would suck, and that wouldn't be good for you. So like, you need this part of yourself. It's a part of you that helps you get what you need, especially when things are tough, and especially when you know that you've just got to keep going and you're exhausted and you're like, I'm I just heard in my head, I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Well, that's too damn bad. Maybe the movie Holes is significant, but the universe wants what you want to, and I feel like any true barriers to this success are just challenges that you'll face and pass with flying colors, and if not with flying, look, there's literally flying colors here, but even if it takes a little bit for you to move beyond them, when they come up, you'll be fine. So stop wondering if, and just embrace the truth that it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So we're gonna go ahead and pull some tarot cards now. And I just wanna start by seeing if there's any internal barriers within you that you could let go of, or that you could, actually no, let's ask what you can do to release any internal barriers that may still exist that you may or may not be conscious of. So For pile 4, Spirit, are there any, what can they do to release any unnecessary internal barriers that may just be making this journey a little bit more challenging than it needs to be? Yeah, you need to believe in yourself, bro. This 6 of Wands, believe as if you already are. The 6 of Wands is literally a success card. The biggest barrier is the belief that you can't do it, or like, and maybe it's not even a belief that you can't. It's just well, I hope for the best and expect the worst. Stop expecting the worst. Expect that you're gonna get to your goal, come hell or high water, and expect that you will succeed even if it looks different than how you pictured it. And if it does look different, trust that it will be better than how you pictured it. This 6 of Wands is all about also one barrier that you might be afraid of, or one barrier that you might be experiencing is a fear of looking stupid, a fear of failing, or a fear of like embarrassing yourself or messing up. And that you really need to let go of. Don't be too proud to try something different, to flop in front of others, to make mistakes, even if it is in the public eye or in front of people whose opinion you really care about. That's endearing. And those that would make fun of you for that, those are the very people that are afraid of experiencing that themselves. So you can just go to sleep at night knowing you're braver than them. You've got big old energetic balls that they don't have. Maybe literal, but for all of you, definitely energetic. You just need to start truly believing in yourself. And I think actually one thing that you might want to do is, I'm just heard in my head like neuro-linguistic programming. I don't know the ins and outs of that, but you might be able to even utilize that to help you be more confident in yourself and believe in yourself. But it also may be something where you just need to believe that you can do it and start taking that action and let the results speak for themselves. When you face a challenge, tell yourself, I can do this, I can handle it. And if you need help, don't be afraid to reach out for that. But more than anything, like the biggest barrier to your success right now is the belief that you won't be, or the belief that you'll never get there, or the belief that you have to do X, Y, Z in order to deserve it. You don't. You're ready now. Just get going. But I want to see now what this success is bringing you. Ooh, 3 of Cups. A lot of joy, and that flew out. So I definitely think one thing, if you've been trying to manifest deeper friendships or manifest more friendships, I definitely think that is something that is coming from this success. But more than anything, I'm taking this very literally. Like, this is about joy, like living life with more joy, celebrating life being more emotionally fulfilling, and also just feeling happiness, like in a genuine way where you're like almost euphoric. I also feel like you will have more time to spend with people that you care about and celebrate with them. Like, you will be in a time of celebration. And I feel like life in general, like your baseline emotional level will be more joyful than you have ever experienced, at least for a very long time. And I think it will continue to stay that way, because actually the joy is not stemming from what the success is bringing you per se. It's partially that, but it's also the tools and things that you've learned along the way that have supported you in that process. And so as life inevitably shifts and evolves, the things that you've committed to, the things that bring you joy, are not just what's outside of you. It's also who you've become, and the recognition of just like the wonderful person that you are, and the fact that you deserve to enjoy the fruits of your labor, and enjoy the beautiful connections that you have or that you've brought in, and the beautiful life that you get to live. You know what a song is for you? Life We Live by Project Pat. That's a good song for you. That's your vibe. That is the vibe of this group. But I'm just gonna go ahead now and ask what you need to know in general, if there's anything that Spirit wants you to know. So Spirit, do you have any other messages for pile number 4 that they need to hear? What do they need to know at this time? Ha! We have Judgment, and it came out so fast. On the back of the deck, we have the Magician. So never stop believing. in the power of your own creation. But with this Judgment card, number one, this is powerful rebirth energy. You are being reborn in ways where the vital aspects of you that you will carry with you your entire life, that maybe you've been disconnected from, are coming back full force. And also maybe things from your life that you thought fell away or that you thought were dying are coming back in a new way. There's powerful transformation ahead, and I feel like you've already been doing it and you're doing amazing. But also know that you are the one that is in control. And to make sure that you're not putting this success in the hands of the universe, in the sense that the universe is going to bring it to you, you are making it happen and the universe is working with you. And if there's anything the universe is needing you to do, or anything the universe needs you to know in order to be successful, they will tell you. It's like kind of, I'm thinking of the GPS example again, but you know how the GPS won't tell you where a turn is until, you know, you're 500 feet away from it? That's kind of how the universe is going to be guiding you through this process. You're not going to be told about a turn when you're a mile away from it. You're going to be told about it when it's about to happen. And yes, when you're driving, that can be quite frustrating, but that's exactly what you need in a non-literal sense. Because if you were anticipating these turns or these shifts or these challenges, you would overthink them, and it would just create unnecessary complications. Because the thing is you're going to be ready to do whatever it is you need to do when Spirit calls you to do it. You don't need to overthink things. You don't need to get in your head. And more than anything, just embrace this. Like, I feel like there's a lot of beautiful things you've already planted seeds for that you're going to be reaping quite soon, if you haven't seen evidence of that already. The only person stopping you from being successful is you. So there is a Gucci Mane song, I can't remember the title, but it's essentially like, I'm my best friend and I'm my worst enemy. That is another song for you as well, I think. And I really just feel like you will not miss any information that the universe has for you that it needs to bring to you. So don't worry. Just go with the flow and trust yourself, and focus on taking concrete action that you know is carrying you towards your goals. The rest, the universe will do their part, just like you're doing yours, and there's nothing to worry about. So now we're going to do some book divination. We're going to use this self-care book, and I'm just going to close my eyes, and if I can get all the pages, just ask Spirit, what self-care message does pile 4 need to hear? As we grow up and our understanding of the world starts to form, it's easy to stop wondering, why are some leaves green while others are purple or red? Why are snails born with shells? Why do sunflowers bloom at night? Of course, with the internet, we can find answers to all these questions within seconds, but letting yourself think about it first can help you stay curious, and it might even spark a genuine interest in something you've never really thought about before. Oh, I love this little mouse, and it's so cute. It's just a little mouse, especially. I don't know why. He's just got me like in my feels. He's so cute. I think this is beautiful. I feel like you're really being encouraged to stay curious and stay open and be gentle with this process. And actually, if you're unsure of yourself, try to get an answer before you Google it and see if it's helpful. But I'm feeling called to turn the next page and see what it says. Try to find something that you love and look forward to in each season. The way that the air smells in autumn, or how the winter months give us the opportunity to cozy up and go inward. The way that every spring feels like the world is waking up from a deep sleep, or how the summer is always so vibrant and full of life. Finding ways to embrace each of the seasons gives you something to feel good about any time of year, even if it's small. So yeah, I feel like no matter where you're at in this cycle right now, no matter what you're doing, there are small wins and small successes along the way that are leading you to big success that is going to profoundly change your life. in ways that you've always wanted, and you deserve it. You deserve every bit of it, and I'm so excited for you. So, and yeah, as I cut the deck for MEGADECK, we literally have transformation. So also, you have a lot of divine like beings around you, angels, spirit guides, a lot of messages. So a lot of messages that you'll receive in the time that you're meant to see them. Sorry guys, I had a brain fart there, and I was thinking about a spirit guide reading that I was thinking about doing, and I think that got mixed. I don't know if what I just said made sense. Didn't take it, but like I was not consciously aware of what was going on for the past like 10 seconds. But I do think there is a lot of guidance around you. You're being supported, and if you ever make a wrong turn, like, you're just going to be redirected back to where you need to go. There is no need to worry. Everything is according to plan, and you are exactly where you need to be. So, Miss MEGADECK, what guidance do you have for pile number 4, please? What does pile 4 need to hear? It's in you. It's crazy. In each reading, there have been repeating cards, and they've been different. So if you are drawn to any of the others, feel free to check them out. But everything you need is already within you, and you're doing great. Shake, heal, release, move on. So when things surface that are barriers that are making you feel like you can't move forward, healing through movement could be quite powerful. So if you're not moving very much, or if you are looking into different ways of movement, that might be really helpful. Or even just if you're really stuck in an energy that you don't want to be in, listen to music that uplifts you and makes you feel good, and just dance for a little bit and see how you feel after that. Movement can be a very powerful form of shifting our energy. And it's easy to forget that, especially when you get locked in your head. What else? What other guidance do you have for pile number 4, please? Master Manifester. Yeah, I'm telling you. What did I say? You can put anything you set your mind to. You are a master manifester. Spiders, crows, lions, antelopes, bears, oh my, might be signs for you that you're on the right path. But yeah, don't have any doubt in what you're doing. Like, you're already doing the dang thing. Just keep going and keep believing in yourself, and don't let timing or uncertainty or self-doubt get in the way. And even if it does, all it will do is slow you down or need you to redirect. And there's learning and growing in that, and you'll still get to where you need to go. One more, Miss MEGADECK. What else would you like pile number 4 to know, please? What the fuck? Okay, this literally came out in another group in the last pile. Destined, it's meant to be. Have faith, believe. Yeah, what you are moving towards is absolutely destined. Just have faith in yourself. That's all you need. And on the back of the deck, we have better than you can imagine. So you can best believe that whatever you are imagining is even better than that. You have nothing to be afraid of except fear itself. And I'm excited for you. And yeah, you got it, dude. You are gonna do amazing things. You've already done amazing things. You're going to continue to. And I can't wait to see, well, hopefully I get to see in some way or another, whether you tell me or something like that, what you end up doing. So pile 4, that is where I'm going to leave this reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background. That is one of the simplest and easiest ways to support me and show appreciation for my channel. But if you'd like to do that in other ways, you can like this video, comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can check out my merch, you can check out my social media, you can check out my candles. If you're watching this before December 9th, you can use code ASO25 for 25% off. But if you're watching it after, you can use code ASO10 for 10% off. You could check out my other videos, especially ones with extendeds. But that's all I have for you guys, so thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this. I love you guys so much, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye!